Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcast.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you inside the Peterborough Memorial Center here in essentially downtown Peterborough. I guess not officially downtown Peterborough, but close enough. I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Long as we take you through our wonderful pregame show here on the Frontline Game Day broadcast.
The pregame show is brought to you by La Huerta Imports, family owned and operated since 1995. Visit lahuertaimports.com for more details.
And before we bring Mr. Ben Long officially into the broadcast, we might as well just hop right into things with our Players to Watch for game number 4.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
And our Players to Watch are the players who are out on the ice for the full 60 minutes, sometimes a few minutes less due to, pulling of the goalie late in the game, and that's Michael Simpson and Dom DiVincentis. Real quick, we'll talk about Michael Simpson of the Peterborough Petes. In 13 games this playoffs, he has a .232 goals against average and a .926 save percentage. Not bad numbers at all. And in this playoff series, he's been an unreal 201 goals against average with a .943 save percentage, Ben.
Ooh, that's impressive, right? And that's the main thing here is that the reason we picked them as our players to watch is how remarkably similar their numbers are. Overall playoff numbers, Dom DiVincentis matches up to Simpson almost exactly through North Bay's games. He's also sitting at .232 goals against average. I don't know if I've ever seen two goalies facing off with the exact same goals against average before.
Well, of course, that's going to change here tonight.
It'll change after. Yes.
But still impressive numbers indeed, as Dom DiVincentis with it again, a .232 goals against average in the playoffs, and a .928 save percentage, so a little bit of a slight edge in the playoffs overall, but in this series, well, you could say he's struggling, if you will, compared to Michael Simpson. He has a .237 goals against average, oh no, and a .925, oh geez, save percentage through 3 games.
For in terms of goalie statistics, those are just remarkable. And it's amazing at the OHL right now that we have goalies with these types of numbers heading off against each other in this series, when in the other series, we have a goalie with even more incredible numbers than that. And, I don't know if that's just so rare to see such great numbers all at one time. That goaltending is such a strong point in the OHL right now.
Very strong indeed, and it was funny, the in-arena host here was blocking the path, and of course who would get stuck behind her, but I can see from here, Dallin Wakely's grandfather, Papa Mike, got stuck waiting to get around her. As again, we do tee up this game, number 4 of the Eastern Conference Final right here in Peterborough, the Lift Lock City. We had a chance to go and check out the Lift Lock today, although of course nothing going through. I think you said it opens the long weekend in May.
Yeah.
So nothing going through, but it was still impressive to check out, as well as we got to be tourists for a little bit of the day here in Peterborough. And of course, would have been a little bit sweeter to tour around with the Battalion victory last night, although the team fell 3-2 here in Peterborough.
I think that maybe made people in town a little more friendly towards us.
Yes.
Maybe a little sympathy in there, because we did get approached by a couple people at different places asking if we were from North Bay and if we were with the team, and we of course said, of course we are. We're hoping for a better result tonight, and they said, well, we hope you have a good time today here in Peterborough, but not as much tonight.
Yeah, and you know what? The feeling's mutual with us towards them. And if you're ever in Peterborough, go and check out the Maple Moose Pub. It's apparently new in town, but it was great food here today in downtown Peterborough. And again, the Lift Lock was very impressive as we get set here for game number 4.
Yeah, and this one is going to be an important one for North Bay. But they're, of course, no game in the playoffs do you take lightly or really care, not care if you win or lose. But being down 2-1 in the series, they definitely don't want to end up being 3-1. If they can go back to North Bay tied 2-2 and follow a similar path to what they did maybe in the Barrie series, from being down 2-1, coming back and winning, I think that's really what they were going to want to be doing here. On positive notes for the North Bay lineup, we're going to have Avery Winslow and Nikita Tarasevich back in the lineup both tonight.
We will indeed. Winslow will be with Paul Christopoulos on the top pairing. Tarasevich will be back on the third line with Arnsby and Van Steensel. On the other side of things, although he was born in Kapuskasing, the North Bay product Chase Lefebvre will be in the lineup for the second time this series, as we see Jonathan Mully, who was injured right in the game yesterday, and then Chase Stillman, who was handed down a 2-game suspension after getting a slew footing penalty in that game yesterday at the end of the first period. So a power play the Battalion couldn't capitalize on the 5 minutes, but he is out of the lineup here, and so is Jonathan Mully, two very important pieces of that Pete's offense.
And you know what, speaking of that power play last night that we saw, that 5-minute power play, you got to wonder how much that changed the outcome of the game, not capitalizing on that, right? That could have been a different story, and I'm sure that was talked about after the game, that when you're given a golden goose like that, you better make sure it lays an egg.
That's exactly it, and unfortunately for the Battalion, it didn't. But we'll hope to see that the Battalion can get to Simpson here today. And we saw it with them yesterday when they crashed in that. Simpson had some struggles as he allowed 2 goals that way.
And that's one of the big differences that I see in the playing between Dom DiVincentis and Simpson, Michael Simpson, is that rebound control. Dom really holds everything in. Very few rebounds get out from him, where Simpson seems to let a lot more in, and Peterborough's just really good at getting it out of the front of the net path. But if North Bay can get there, that's where they're getting a lot of their goals so far, and I think that's where they'll continue to have success.
Yeah, the Battalion, again, as you mentioned, don't want to be going into Friday's game at home down 3-1. Be a bit of a struggle to come back into that series, although doable. There's no more room for error at that point.
No, and I mean, this year they're just, with playoff hockey being so weird around the hockey world, having Florida come back against Boston after the season that they had, you never can count any team out, and that goes both ways, right? North Bay can't, no matter what they do, take Peterborough for granted, and I think maybe that might be something that's happening in the guys' heads at some point, as they're taking some of these games for granted. And I can't speak for sure on that, but it kind of looks that way out on the ice sometimes.
From my non-expert and untrained eye, for the first 5 out of 6 periods in this series, the Battalion and me were by far and away the better team.
For sure.
And they only came out of it with 1 win. as that first period ended up being 3 goals in the back of their net and leading to a 3-2 Game 1 defeat. Now the Battalion yesterday, they played a tenacious game, I should say, through the first 40 minutes, up 2-1. Although you didn't really feel comfortable, but in the third period, especially for the first 10 minutes, it felt like they were incredibly flat.
Yeah, and there was the 2 disallowed goals last night as well that could have, one was, I think, an early whistle that stopped the goal. And those types of things, they're going to happen, and refs are going to make mistakes. And we took advantage, we got the benefit of that one, but it just wasn't enough to come through the night.
No, you got to take advantage at this level of the quote-unquote advantages given to you in that situation, and the Battalion weren't able to do so. They weren't able to get another puck past Simpson, although at the end of the second period it looked like momentum was on their side as they scored 2 quick ones, and that was Pasquale Zito shorthanded, and then Matvei Petrov on a highlight reel goal coming down with Kyle Jackson. That, of course, the goal had to be reviewed for a lengthy amount of time on the offside. A lot of Pete's fans weren't too happy with that one.
It was a close one, but it was onside.
Very close indeed. As we're getting ready now for the starting lineup of the Petes. And, of course, Michael Simpson in net for the Petes. And I like the play that we have here of, that when they come into the sparks showing off and some smoke as well as just some really neat theatrics here in Peterborough.
Yeah, I mean, what are we at, a Kiss concert? It's really cool though. I wish we could have. I mean, we got the tank in North Bay, but I love pyro.
Pyro's pretty cool, of course, indeed. With that being said, we'll get set here for the game here very shortly as we get set for O Canada here as the Petes are being introduced here on the Frontline Game Day broadcast.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
And we're set here after O Canada at the Peterborough Memorial Centre for game number 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. If you're watching on YouTube, you might have noticed a new feature on our screen that we haven't had before, and that's a scoreboard. We've heard the concerns and the comments, and we've found a way. We do have a scoreboard now, so we will be able to keep you up to date on the score in real time. as the game goes on, Ben.
Yeah, thank you for all the people we've had a few people mention it, and special thanks to Matt Sukum, who went out and did some research and found a way for it to be possible, and here we are now with the scoreboard. Look at us.
We are getting fancy here in Peterborough.
Professional, top of the line.
I don't know if we're professional yet, but hey, we're here.
The #1 rated battalion broadcast.
There we go. As we're getting ready here, again, for those of you that have asked to be able to sync us up to the TV broadcast, I will let you know when the puck is dropped so you can pause us and get it synced up with your TV feed when I say the puck is dropped. And we are moments away here, although the lights have yet to come on.
Yeah, that's, they just finished, they do a siren thing there that you can barely hear in the building, but they do it out on the ice there, and so they're just wrapping up the carpets from that here.
Yeah, remember when the battalion used to do the siren thing? Pretty neat.
Yeah.
They did it briefly. Now it's no more.
I mean, I don't know. Whatever. It's a thing. That's cool. Congratulations. You have a thing that makes noise.
Tell me how you really feel about a siren.
You have a thing that makes noise. We have 4,200 bands. Whatever.
I guess we're up to that point, yeah. As the lights have come back on, Avery Winslow again mentioned that he is back in the lineup here for the battalion in this one. As we are just about to get underway, Pasquale Zito in for the draw. And the puck is dropped here in Peterborough as the battalion quickly get it down into the square corners of the Pete's zone. The Pete's in their home maroons are going left to right to start this game. The battalion in their home whites are going right to left. As it's quickly down the ice for Robertson. Robertson gets it into the battalion zone, goes to the far side for Othman. Othman trusting out Divinchentis early as he makes a shoulder save and knocks it out of play.
Yeah, and we saw 4 men up on the battalion rush there, jumping up pretty early. And I'm kind of surprised to see this early in the game to see 4 men up on a rush when you could easily have a turnaround the other way and have odd men rush back against you. But I guess that first goal is coveted.
It is in this series. The team that scores first has won every game as a shot from the point for McCoy is turned aside. And now it's into the near side corner. Battalion looking for it. It comes out to Robertson. Robertson tried to shuffle the puck out front. Couldn't find it. Now Zito puts it behind his net to Winslow. Winslow takes a bit of a hit there. And now Robertson comes away with it again. Robertson looked to get it out front to Hayes. It got out to Petrov though, but Robertson has it again in the corner. Far side for Spearing. He takes a shot. That's off a body. And the battalion collect the rebound and bring it down the ice. Zito flips it in just over the net of Simpson. And Petrov chases after it. Lockhart gets to the puck though, gives it to Spearing. And now the battalion steal the puck. That's Arnsby who knocks down Spearing, and then he's knocked down as he tried to skate by him. And the puck comes back to the Petes. Lockhart goes cross ice. That pass couldn't convert with Avon. Now Lucan brings the puck to the Pete's zone. Flips it in. And Smith will get there first. Smith up the ice for Lockhart. Nearly taken away by Nelson. Left in front for Tarasevic. Another chance. They score! Owen Van Steensel gets the battalion off the schneid here early. It's a 1-0 game.
That is what you like to see, especially when you're going against a goalie like Michael Simpson. If you can get up on the board early, you know, if you can score 1 now, that's 1 less you have to score going into the third. And if you have a goalie like Dom Bennett, he doesn't like to lose 2 in a row very often. I don't know what the numbers on that are, but it's been a while since he has. And the troops in general with that pattern.
Just under a minute and a half gone. Owen Van Steensel with his 4th of the series, and that is also his 2nd goal of the series. That's his 4th of the playoffs, 2nd of the series for the man they call OV.
And just as a momentous thing, I have put a goal on our scoreboard for the first time ever.
That's exciting. Puck goes back into the Pete's zone. It's up for Perdeller, but he can't get a hold of it. Now Hislop in a foot race down into his own end, gets to it first. And now the battalion will have an offensive zone draw here in Pete's territory.
Yeah, and North Bay sticking with that same line that was just out there. I mean, they just got out on the ice, so it makes sense. We have Jackson, Bloom, and Ertel out there with Hislop and Mathurin on the point.
Dubois in for the draw, but it's one back from Bloom up to Mathurin. Mathurin couldn't settle the puck down, so he sends it into the corner. Ertel tries to get to it, but instead it's Jackson. He threw it out front for Bloom, and now Perdeller picks up the loose puck and goes into the battalion zone. Goes cross ice. That one's turned aside by Divinchentis from Page. And now the Petes once again in the battalion zone. Mathurin Back for Hislop. Hislop behind his net. Goes around behind him for Jackson. Kyle Jackson out from his own zone. Fanned on the puck, flipping it up and out. And the Petes send it right back down into Battalion territory. It's Hislop. Left tried to leave it behind his net. He does. Mathurin picks it up. Othman down there. He's a dangerous customer. But the Battalion get it up and out to Ertel. Ertel in for Bloom. Bloom looked back for Ertel as he was looking to get a chance there. Now the Petes have a makeshift 2-on-1. Othman, as he got around, takes the shot, hits the post, and now a bouncing puck. Hayes couldn't get that one to convert as Othman was able to beat DiVincentis, but not the iron, as the Petes come close to tying this one here early. Back and forth action here, and this is what the playoffs is all about. Smith to Govro. Govro gives the puck away to Van Steensel. Van Steensel in the corner, battling with his old teammate. Tried to get it in deep there for Wakely, as Wakely's out there for the first time, the Port Hope product. Puck goes cross ice, Winslow to Van Steensel. Van Steensel leaving it for Wakely. Wakely tried to get the puck back around, couldn't get around Smith, and now the Petes have possession again with Beck. Beck into the Battalion zone. Stick handled himself into submission, and now the puck's back up the ice. Wakely in a foot race, but Zanetti's going to get to it first. Zanetti up the ice now for Lockhart. Lockhart tries to get past Wakely, but Wakely steals the puck from him, dumps it into the Petes zone, and now it goes around the end boards. Petrov was stopping up, waiting for the puck to come to him, but instead the Petes pick it up. Smith going the other way. Smith fans on his dump into the Battalion zone, but he does eventually convert on that. Now Petrov with it. Petrov out from his own defensive zone. He has Zito and McDonald. He flips it in on net. Turned aside by Simpson as the puck bounced in on him. Now McCoy loses the handle on it, but now the puck's up against the near side wall with 3 maroon jerseys there. And it's going to be Dubois who comes away with it. Dubois to Spearing. Spearing's pass went to nobody, so Lucan's going to pick it up at his blue line and try to flip it back down the ice, but he lost it. Now Nelson tries to get it out of the zone. Lucan comes back in, does flip it down the ice, and now McDonald chasing after it, but Spearing will get to it first. McCoy, he has the puck, flips it down to the Battalion end. It hits a Pete's player, so no icing. Robertson behind the net. Battles for it, throws the puck out front. Nobody was there. But now another chance by the Petes is negated there with McDonald. McDonald gets it into the blue line. McDonald leaves it for Petrov. Petrov walks in, takes the shot. That's off a body. Kyle McDonald took a big hit as well at the start of that play. Winslow was in deep, but had the puck knocked away from him, so Robertson gets to it. Robertson now skates out of the Battalion zone. Gets to Christopoulos, who gets it quickly back up to Tarasevic. Tarasevic flips it in. That'll go for offside. Van Steensel thought about playing it, but decided not to. Now Hayes flips it down into the Battalion zone. Christopoulos has to chase after it. Christopoulos has Othman right after him. He takes a hit in the corner. And Tarasevic flipped it back around, but it was out of the reach of Winslow. Puck back out front. Knocked aside by DiVincentis. Winslow up to Tarasevic. But the Battalion still have the puck in their own zone. They can't clear it. As now a shot from the point by Maillet, who scored the game winner yesterday, comes in. DiVincentis gloves that one down, and now we have a scrum at the front of the net as well.
It looks like Winslow's going to the box from that one.
Well, that's not good news here for the Battalion, who allowed a power play goal yesterday.
Yeah, so Osmond was standing in front of the net, and he's a bit of a troublemaker here. And the whistle went, and he did not move, and Winslow said, oh, guess what? You are going to move. And the ref took exception to that.
The Petes come into this game 6 for 51 on the power play here in the playoffs at 11.1%. That's 14th in the league, or 13th in the league out of all the teams that have qualified for the playoffs. And the Battalion didn't win the draw, so the Petes have possession. Beck lost it nearly to Arnsby. Arnsby tries to flip it out. The Battalion keep it up at this top end of this point. And now Van Steensel does flip it around. The Battalion penalty kill hasn't been as good here in the playoffs as it was in the regular season. They've allowed 10 goals on 55 chances, 81.8%. That's good for 8 out of the 16 teams that have qualified for the playoffs this year. Now we're down to 4 teams, of course, with the Eastern and Western Conference Finals underway. Puck knocked in by the Petes. Walks back to the point. Zanetti with a clean lane, takes a shot. That one missed the net. Now it's back on the near side wall. The Battalion try to get it out, but the puck is up against the near side boards into the corner. Perdeller battling down there. Puck back to Zanetti. Zanetti goes cross ice. He had a wide open Maillet, but the pass was out of his reach. Now the Petes try to come out of the corner. It's Perdeller. Christopoulos gets to it, sends it down, or he doesn't rather. It hit the glass and then hit the netting and went out of play.
Yeah, that was a weird roll up and then bounced back down, but I think North Bay is happy to get to the face-off in their end without it having to be something more sinister chances.
56 seconds left on the Winslow penalty. The draw is coming to the far side of DiVincentis. Tarasevic, who's a great penalty killer for the Battalion, was missed yesterday as the puck comes in slowly on DiVincentis. Lockhart was there, but the goaltender covers it up.
It's amazing the size of some of these guys out there, and then when you see them get some of the more normal-sized human beings, like Urtel is a big boy.
Yeah.
He looks gigantic next to Lockhart standing in front of the net.
Yeah, it's funny, eh? Back to Othman at the point. Othman near side to White. Now it's back to Othman at the top of the draw, or top of the dot, I should say. Now the Battalion do get possession as Urtel is off on shorthanded. Urtel leaving it for Tarasevic. Tarasevic looked to find Urtel open, but the puck hit White, and now White picks it up and comes out of his zone slowly. 30 seconds here left on the man advantage for the Petes. White into the Battalion zone, lost the handle on it, comes to Zito. Zito flips it right down to the Petes zone. It comes in on Simpson as he plays the puck away from Urtel, who is in quickly. Robertson just back behind his net again to White. White up to Hayes. Hayes over for Robertson. Now Robertson gets around Nelson, potential future Kraken teammate. As the puck is knocked off the stick in the zone, Winslow comes back out on the ice. Zito was looking for Winslow, tried to go cross ice, but it was picked off by Hayes. And now Hayes tries to go the other way, but Bloom stops it up. Bloom carries the puck in, goes over to Jackson. Jackson walks in, takes a shot, he scores! Action Jackson! Kyle Jackson makes it 2-0 for the Battalion.
And that is what Jackson does. He gets himself in front of the net and he puts pucks inside.
Kyle Jackson with his 7th of the playoffs, and that is also his 2nd goal of the series. And the Battalion now have a 2-0 lead here with 12:23 left in the first period.
Purely from a statistics point of view, this is not looking like a good day for Simpson. 2 goals on 4 shots.
So far, it has not looked great for the goaltender at all, but we do know from 3 other games that he is capable of shutting things down at any moment for the Petes, and he has been stellar through 3 games.
Yeah.
Wakely in for the draw, but the Petes take it away. Sending it right back in, that's Lefebvre. Lefebvre is run into by Briskowski. No penalty coming there. Pete's faithful looking for a call, as now Romani takes the puck down into the Pete's zone. Govro taken into the boards by Romani. Jackson, the goal scorer, taking a turn out on that quote-unquote 4th line here, as they're still playing down a forward, as they're going with 7 defensemen like they have since Tanias Mathurin has come back. Puck rolling down to the Battalion end. That'll go for icing. And we have a face-off here and an offensive zone draw for the Battalion, who currently lead this one 2-0.
Yeah, and as we've talked about since Mathurin's return, it actually is more common, and the more I've looked sort of at the numbers, it is more and more common for teams to be doing 11 forwards, 7 defensemen. It provides a lot of freedom, and we've seen North Bay benefit from that greatly.
They have indeed. Even yesterday when they were missing some guys, they still went with 7 defensemen. As now, down the ice, the Petes try to get a chance, but the Battalion negate that. Now it's another chance out front. Couldn't get the puck to settle down, as the Petes had a golden opportunity there to try and get a shot away on DiVincentis. Zito turns on the Jets, gets around one Pete. Now he's over to McDonald. McDonald throws it on net from the point, was looking for a rebound, and Zito's mixing it up with Govro and Avon after the whistle.
Yeah, and Govro, we know for sure, is one tough customer.
He's not afraid to mix it up.
That was one thing that I was not looking forward to when he was sent away from the team. I mean, it was...
Well, at the time, it was Saginaw, so we didn't think that we'd see him outside of the regular season.
That's true. We didn't think it was going to be too common. But coming into the series, knowing that they had him, I was definitely not looking forward to that aspect of the Petes.
No,
sure.
me neither. Cam Govro, one of my favorite players on the Battalion last year, especially considering the way he came to the team. And not many people expected much from him, but now the puck's down to Nelson. Nelson Flips up for McDonald. He tried to kick it, but it's given away now by the Petes, as that was clearly offside. Petrov was a step ahead of everybody on that one.
Yeah.
A bit of bad luck there for the Battalion, but when Petrov and the puck carrier of Zito is beside each other and Petrov has to move into the zone to get out of Zito's way,
Yeah.
well...
And you can see Zito tried to push the puck in first, but it's just too little too late, and we have another face-off here.
Arnsby in for the draw. It's knocked back, but Zanetti has it. Zanetti over to Maye, and this is something to keep an eye on. The Petes have been a very good face-off team throughout this series so far. Winslow to Tarasevich. Tarasevich kicks it up the ice for Arnsby, but Arnsby loses the handle on it. Now it's over for Beck. Beck takes the shot, and that one's kicked aside by Divinchentis. Back to the point for Smith. Smith throwing it on net, stopped by him, and the rebound scooped up by Winslow and thrown into the near side wall. Van Steensel throws the puck back around behind the net to Christopoulos. Christopoulos doesn't like what he sees, so he stops up, and now he gives it to Winslow on the near side. Winslow up ice for Arnsby. It hit Tarasevich, who then takes a late hit, and then Arnsby gets in, takes a shot. Simpson turns it away. McCallum going the other way. McCallum throws it in and chases after it with Mathurin hot on his heels, but it's out front for Robertson. His shot wide of the net. Now it's back to Maye, who takes another shot. Divinchentis turned that one aside. Now it's Christopoulos in the far side corner up to Hertel. Hertel throwing it cross ice, was looking for Bloom, and he took a whack at it, but White got to it and sent it right back in. Now Christopoulos in the far side corner, battling for possession. Van Steensel in there as well, but the Petes come away with it. Back to the point, another shot on net, comes away, and now a sharp angle chance is turned aside by Divinchentis. And the Battalion, Bloom, goes off to the races. Bloom with a bit of a step, took a shot, and that was just wide of the net. Hertel pushes it right back in for Jackson. Jackson walks around, looked to go put it out front for Bloom, and he wasn't quite in position. Now Hislop puts it back in for Hertel. Hertel with a shot over the net, and that one's going to hit the glass and get back to the point for Mathurin. Mathurin takes a hard hit, and now the puck's back out for Jackson. Jackson tried to kick it out over to Bloom, but now going the other way is Lockhart. Lockhart into the Battalion zone. Stops up, leaves it for Perdeller. Perdeller takes a shot off the post, and he puts it in. The Petes cut into the lead. Just over 10 minutes gone in this period.
Yeah, that's not one that you want to see as North Bay. Fortunately, you have another one in your lead still. That's the second that's beat Dom to hit the post. Unfortunately, that one found its way back to the stick of the shooter.
Well, Perdeller kind of acted like he scored, but no one else did, and then he went and bounced it back in. Either way, the puck did go in. Perdeller with his second of the playoffs and his first point and first goal of this series as well. As now it's a 2-1 game with 9:27 left in this first period. Arnsby in for the draw against Dubois. It's kicked over for the Petes, but the Battalion get the puck into the Pete's zone. Govro gets to it first, and now it's up to Perdeller. Thrown back into the Pete's zone. Perdeller can't get a handle on it, though. Now it's sent in for Nelson. Nelson behind his net. Up to Romani. Romani behind his net to Nelson. Nelson quickly up the ice now, and that's Lucan. Lucan tried to shovel it back in, couldn't get it in deep. Now it's back to Nelson. Nelson throwing it on net. Simpson gloves that one down. Zanetti picks it up. Zanetti down the ice. That won't go for icing, as a Battalion player and a Pete player both whacked at it. Nelson up for Lucan. Lucan goes cross ice looking for Arnsby. Arnsby had a good chance there, but he knocked it too far out of reach. Now McCoy gets to it. Over for Spearing. Spearing up the ice now for Beck. Beck flips it back into the Battalion zone, and Bruskowski has it. Bruskowski has the puck taken off his stick. The Pete's tried to send it out front, and then he couldn't get a chance. Battalion with it. Wakely goes around behind the net. Spearing's going to get to that first. Sends it right back behind the net. Now Beck has it out front for Avon. Avon with the shot, and that one just went over the net. Sent back in by McCoy to Beck. Beck flips it back around behind the end wall, and Maye tried to get there first, but Romani collects it and sends it over for Nelson. Nelson throws it down the ice. That's going to go for icing against the Troops. So a tired group will need to stay out a little bit longer, but good news for the Battalion. That is our mid-period break. So 8:01 left in this first period. Almost 12 minutes gone. We've seen 3 goals already here. 2-1 Battalion lead on the Frontline Game Day broadcast.
This period is brought to you by Canadore Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the alumni job portal. Visit canberracollege.ca/perks for more information.
And we welcome you back into the Frontline Game Day broadcast.
Yeah, and welcoming, or when picking the players to watch today, I didn't think we were going to be in for this first 10 minutes that we've had here, where the goalies have combined let 3 goals. With that said, they both look reasonably solid out there, and we know that both of them are capable of, as you mentioned, shutting that door. And this could easily end up being a 2-1 game at the end of the day as well.
It could very well end this way, but as we saw, the Battalion who had a 2-1 lead going into that third period yesterday, you know a 2-1 lead might not be safe with how the Petes played in that third period, although we're only 12 minutes into this one. A hockey game is 60 minutes long. Petes win it back to White. White flips it back in on net. DiVincenzo stops that one. Puck comes out for Wakely. Wakely up to Zito. Zito into the Petes zone. Flips it in. Tries to chase after it. His stick was held up. But now it's back for Maillet. Maillet stopping up as McDonald was coming in for pressure. Gives it near side to White. White down to Offman. Now quickly cross ice to Maillet. Puck calmly flipped into the Battalion zone. Winslow flips it near side. Zito looks down the ice for McDonald. McDonald gets it and flips it right back into the Petes zone. And now White has Petrov all over him. Now behind the net. Knocked aside, but Paget is going to get to the loose puck. Over for White. White back near side for Zito to White. White tried to get it out front. McDonald was looking for positioning there. And now it's going to be Robertson who takes a big hit from McDonald. Now offside there as the puck slowly went in, and Zito, throwing some frustration, throws it at the far side boards before he goes off for a change.
Yeah, but it looks like that face-off is going to come all the way down to outside the Petes zone. I guess it's deemed to be intentional offside by the referee, but there's a bit of a conversation now, so I'm not sure what's happening. The one ref was gesturing towards the Petes line, but they end up at the Battalion's blue line for the face-off.
Dubois and Jackson in for the draw. And it's sent back to the Battalion, but not for very long as they throw it up ice. Govro sends it down into the Battalion zone. Nelson with possession now. Nelson stops up behind his net. Takes it out slowly. Goes up ice for Jackson. Jackson gains the red line, flips it far side to Lucan, who just sends it in for the Battalion to chase. Perdeller gets to it. Now it's Bloom. And Paget gets to it. Paget cross ice for Smith. Smith quickly up ice for Dubois. It's flipped in on DiVincenzo. Nelson picks up the rebound, and Lucan gets to it. Lucan in his own zone. Up ice now for Jackson. Jackson finds Bloom up ice. Bloom couldn't hold on to the puck very long as he was muscled off it. And now Lefebvre, or rather Lockhart, throws it back into the Battalion zone. Jackson in his own zone, throws it near side for Hislop. Hislop behind the net, stopping things down. Looks up ice, gives it to Nelson. Nelson gains the red line, flips it in, avoids a check. And now Zanetti has the puck. Zanetti. It's out front to Arnsby. Arnsby back to Van Steensel, who takes a shot. That one just missed the side of the net. Now Hertel bobbled it. And Spearing gets to it in the corner. Spearing flips it up. Beck flips it out even further. Avon into the Battalion zone. Mathern's going to chase after that. And he gets to it, gives it to Hislop. Hislop quickly up the ice, but it's picked off by Othman. Othman loses it to Van Steensel, though. Van Steensel back to Hislop to Matherin. Matherin back near side to Hislop. Up to Arnsby. Arnsby flips it in weakly on Simpson, who covers that one up. And it's still a 2-1 game here with 5:19 left in this first period. The Petes lead 10-7 in shots.
Yeah, and I know I've talked about this before, but I can't get over how quick Arnsby is. I don't remember him being this quick even earlier this season. Like, it seems to be something he's really worked on or developed. I'm not sure, but he just seems to be, all the time, he's able to just pick up his speed and go right away.
Back to the point for Christopoulos, throws it on net, kicked aside by Simpson. The rebound was there, but there was no Battalion player to get to it. Now it's Smith. Smith down the ice for McCallum, and is flipped into the battalion zone for Christopoulos to chase after. Christopoulos up the ice to Van Steensel. Van Steensel tries to flip it in. He does. And now Smith tried to flip it out of his zone, and he does. It's into the battalion zone with Robertson. Robertson with a shot. Turned aside by DiVincentis. Zito gets to it. Zito from behind his own net. Up to Van Steensel. Sends it back in for Winslow. And Winslow slowly takes the puck up from his own zone, giving it near side to Zito. Zito gets to the red line, flips it in. Simpson plays it down for Spearing. Spearing stops up as he saw some battalion players on the other side of his net, but he gets it up to Perdeller. Perdeller down the ice now for the Petes, for Lefebvre. And now it's flipped back in by Spearing to Nelson. Nelson behind his net. Back to Lucan. Back far side for Nelson. Nelson stretched past to McDonald. It hits off his shin, and it goes back to the Petes. McCoy back to Beck. Beck flips it right back down to the battalion zone. DiVincentis out to play it. Tried to give it to Nelson on the far side, but it comes to McDonald. It's off McDonald's skate. The Petes nearly got to it. Now they do. Beck has the puck behind the net. Gets it out front, but it goes to Govro. Govro now brings the puck in, takes a sharp angle chance, and the puck is up and out of play. So with 3:46 left here in the period, we'll get another stoppage here.
Yeah, and players like Beck are dangerous that, didn't have the puck, did have the puck, lost it, but he got it back again quickly. The things that some of these guys can do with the puck just astound me, that at the end of a stick that they're holding with their hands, they can just kind of tether this thing around, even up to like the lacrosse type goals that some of these guys are scoring nowadays.
The Michigan, it's a nice goal indeed. I don't know how they do it either, but I wasn't very good at hockey. So Beck wins the draw to Avon. Avon's shot is blocked by the battalion. Avon coming back in, takes another chance. That's blocked by DiVincentis. Now the puck couldn't settle down. They finally do get it up and out of the zone. That's Bloom who's taking off the puck, and he flips it back down to the Pete's zone. Simpson out to play it. It's played around to Hertel. Hertel stopped it up, and Hertel out front to Bloom. Bloom couldn't get a shot away, and now Avon's going the other way. Avon into the battalion zone, gains the front, is blocked by a Pete's player, and the Petes regain possession. Back to White. White flips it back in. 3:14 here left in this first period. Mathurin on the far side battling for the puck. It comes out to Hertel. Hertel goes to the middle of the ice for Hislop. Hislop gains the red line, flips it in, and Simpson gets to it. Simpson leaves it for Maillet. Now Jackson tries to flip it back to the point. There was no battalion player there. Romani throwing his weight around, takes Othman into a hit, but now Othman gets the puck into the battalion zone before Romani picks the pocket of a Pete's player. Romani, far side for Jackson. Jackson went to go near side for Petrov. Hayes picked off that pass, and now the Petes are back into the battalion zone. Winslow flips the puck around near side for Petrov. Petrov slowing things down, throws it up the ice looking for Romani, and now Govro comes away with it. Now it's Jackson with it. Gets it back to Christopoulos. Christopoulos in his own zone, leaves it for Petrov. Petrov with the puck up the ice to Wakely. Wakely chips it into the Pete zone. And now the battalion are chasing after it in Peterborough territory. Back down for Nelson. Nelson flipping the puck down the ice. That one's stopped up by Hayes. Hayes flips it in. Petrov knocks it back in for Nelson. Nelson going behind his net. With some speed now. Gains the neutral zone. Flips it in on Simpson, who just gloves it down, and he's going to take a stop there. So now, with 1:44 left, the battalion will have an offensive zone draw.
So that's an interesting play that I'm seeing happen more and more this game, and I'm not sure if it's an intentional thing, because they seem to be dumping it in. Instead of dumping it into the corners, they're dumping it in on Simpson. But I don't know what the rationale, if there is a rationale behind it, or it's just something that's...
Well, when they dump it into the corners, the Petes are 99% of the time coming away with it. So maybe it's just looking for a rebound or catching Simpson sleeping. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's something they're doing.
Arnsby in for the draw against Beck. Beck wins it cleanly. Again, going to have to keep an eye on those face-off numbers. Arnsby on the near side flips it in, looking tight on Simpson. And now Tarasevich has it. Tarasevich goes in deep. Out front for Lucan. Lucan with a chance, and that's turned aside by Simpson. And now the Pete's with speed on the counterattack. Beck in looking for Avon. He's stripped of the puck. That was a great chance for Lucan, who had pinched in and missed the puck originally.
Yeah.
Spearing now. Going cross ice. That one's Maye. Stops that one up. Arnsby tried to hit him, but he missed and hit the boards instead. Arnsby looks okay, though, as Christopoulos looks for him for the stretch pass. Simpson out to play the puck behind his net. Leaves it for McCoy. We're into the final minute now here in Peterborough of the first period. Puck sent right back down to the Battalion zone. Mathurin gets to it. Mathurin flips it up to Petrov. Petrov now carries it into the zone. Leaves it for Zito. Zito in the corner. Flips it back around for Petrov. That one was out of his reach. Hayes gets to it. Hayes flips it down to the Battalion zone, but the linesman Legs gets into it. And now the Petes give it right back to the Battalion. Petrov walking in. Petrov in. Leaves it out front. McDonald couldn't get a shot away. Back to the point for Mathurin. Mathurin walks in, takes a shot. That's blocked by Robertson. And then whacked at by Hayes. But McDonald sends it right back in on net. And Simpson gloves that one down with 19.9 seconds left on the clock.
And as per usual, there's Zito right in front of the net, causing annoyance to the other team. He's one of those players that I'm sure if you're a Pete's fan right now, you're saying, oh, I hate that Zito. But as a Battalion fan, you're saying, yeah, love that.
Yeah, Pasquale Zito had a hat-trick against the Battalion earlier this year. We were talking about that in the media room before the game. Didn't really like him too much then. Like him a lot now when he's with the Battalion.
Yeah, Osman's one of those players too.
I would have to agree. Jackson wins it back to Nelson. Nelson with a quick shot. That one's blocked by the Petes. And now Ertel gets to it. Ertel back to Nelson. Nelson cross ice for Christopoulos. Christopoulos couldn't keep it in, but he flips it right back down as Ertel was knocked down in front of the net. Ertel didn't realize it was offside. He went to go after the puck, but with 1 second left, the Petes get it down to the Battalion zone. And after 20 minutes of play, it'll be a 2-1 Battalion lead here as they go into the first intermission. Up a goal.
Yeah, and there was a few shots taken from both sides towards other guys at the whistle there as they were parting ways. And, you know, nothing says hello like a little tap.
No, these guys must be very familiar with each other by now as they've played 4 games against one. Well, this will be the 4th game, so 3 games against each other so far here in this Eastern Conference Final. Yeah. As the Battalion, once again, hold a 2-1 lead here after 20 minutes of play of game number 4. And I'm Courtney Kenny. He's Ben Long. We'll be back with our first intermission on the other side of this on the front line.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sucrum, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
And we welcome you back inside the Peterborough Memorial Center here for our first intermission show between the North Bay Battalion and the Peterborough Petes in game number 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And quickly looking around the league, we have the London Knights and Sarnia Sting all knotted up at 2 after the first period of play. So apparently after some lower scoring games, both games are going a little bit higher scoring after a period here. George Diaco and Ryan Winterton with the goals for the Knights in that one, and Anderson and Voigt for the Sting with goals there. As the Sting actually had a 2-0 lead in that period, and the Knights were able to come back. Speaking of crazy games, and we'll talk about it probably a little bit more, it'd be nice to have Mr. Chris Dawson on the show right now to ask him how he feels after game 1 of his Dallas Stars series against the Seattle Kraken. They need someone more than Joe Pavelski to score a goal because, he scored all 4 goals for the Dallas Stars yesterday in their 5-4 overtime loss to the Seattle Kraken. Looking at this game more in depth, the Battalion are up 2-1. Shots on goal at the end of that period, 12-11 in favor of the Battalion. 11-7. Again, that's a stat that we told you at home to keep an eye on. 11-7. Now the face-off wins for the Petes, and on the power play, the Petes are 0-for-1. The Battalion have yet to get a power play advantage. Avery Winslow with the lone penalty in that period at the 5:21 mark for roughing. On the goal side of things, a minute 23 seconds into the game, Owen Van Steensel got his 4th of the playoffs, assisted by Nikita Tarasevich and Ty Nelson. So Tarasevich, who wasn't in the lineup yesterday, is back today, already making his presence known, and of course Winslow on the penalty. And then Kyle Jackson with the 7th of these playoffs, assisted by Josh Bloom at the 7:37 mark so far of that first period. And then just 3 minutes later, Tommy Perdeller with his 2nd of the playoffs, assisted by Brendan Othman and Tucker Robertson. So after the Battalion killed off that 2-minute penalty to Avery Winslow, a very important goal, or very important time for them not to allow a goal, as we welcome Ben Long back into the intermission show. Very important that the Battalion didn't allow that goal on that penalty kill, as just a few moments later, Kyle Jackson made it a 2-0 game. Although, as I just mentioned, Ben, Tommy Perdeller coming back and cutting into the lead for the Petes.
Yeah, with, they say a 2-goal lead is the worst lead you can have in hockey, and that's exactly why.
In baseball, my Blue Jays currently have a 1-0 lead on the Red Sox in the bottom of the 2nd. In the NHL, the Carolina Hurricanes have a 2-0 lead towards the end of the first period against the New Jersey Devils, and at 9:30 tonight, the Edmonton Oilers take on the Vegas Golden Knights. So one thing I was touching on a little bit there, Ben, bit of an interesting game that we got to take part of yesterday, not here, but afterwards for dinner after the game. Got to watch the Seattle game. Joe Pavelski getting all 4 goals. I think if you're a Stars fan, you're hoping that Joe Pavelski doesn't score all the goals in the second round.
No, I hope not. That's not what you're relying on, especially when you have guys like, Jason Robertson in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some stars on that team, and if Joe Pavelski is the only one putting the pucks in the net, it's going to be a really long, short series.
That's a good way to put it, a really long, short series for sure. Speaking of here in Pete's territory, Tucker Robertson, not a relative of Jason Robertson, but Nick Robertson, who played here, Toronto Maple Leafs prospect, played for the Peterborough Petes for a couple of seasons, putting up 50 goals in a season as well, in almost as many games. So Nick Robertson really electrifying the crowds here at the PMC in Peterborough.
Yeah, that's impressive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he won't have that same result when he gets to the NHL, but
He's
put up those kind of numbers in the OHL. That's an elite level player right there.
Excuse me. Unfortunately for Nick Robertson, injuries have really derailed him to this point so far. As a Leaf fan, not really liking seeing like that. He's a 2nd-round pick. He was the crown jewel of the Leafs farm system for a couple of years, but now Matthew Nyes has kind of passed him.
Yeah.
And now Matthew Nyes scoring a goal in the game last night as well. So, and guess where he's from? Arizona. So the Austin Matthews effect a little bit maybe.
Yeah.
There's probably not enough age difference there, but I'm sure Matthews played a bit of, when you're choosing what sport to stick with, I'm sure Matthews played a bit of a part in that.
Well, that's the thing, if he was drafted in 2021,
yeah,
that means he's
6 years younger than Matthews.
Yeah, but if that means when Matthews drafted in 2018, he was 12.
2016.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But when Matthews was drafted at 18 years old,
Yeah.
if there's 6 years age difference, he would have been 12 years old.
Yeah.
As a 12-year-old playing a sport, you're not really committed to the sport yet.
No.
Right? Like, because you may love it, you may be putting everything into it, but if you're 12 years old and you see that guy from my part of the world that doesn't put out a whole lot of hockey players, was drafted first overall and is expected to be a huge star, I could do that too, right? So, I mean, may not have inspired him to take up hockey, but I'm sure it was inspiration along the way.
I'm sure, and it's the same thing with North Bay, because North Bay went a while without an NHL draft pick, and some OHL players. I mean, there were a couple like Tate Sagan and Ken Appleby was in the league before the battalion moved to North Bay, stuff like that. But the North Bay Battalion coming to North Bay really helped rejuvenate the AAA program in North Bay.
Oh, for sure it did.
Where we've seen, a lot of North Bay kids. We see Chase LaFave out here for the Petes, who is from Kapuskasing but played for the Trappers. We see, their U18 draft where they just took Nate Gravel and Caleb Dawson, who are both North Bay players. And they also took Ryan Daze in the U16 draft, who went to Toronto to play, but is from North Bay.
Yeah.
Even Caden Long with the Voodoos, who went south to play, but he is from North Bay.
Chase Thompson, who also went south to play, but is from the area as well.
Yeah, Chase Thompson as well. You go back a couple of years, Pacey Schluting. They took Jack Stockfish. Looking at Reese Prue, who never really got a chance with the battalion thanks to the pandemic.
Yeah.
He was a goaltender. Actually played with Ben Gaudreau for the Trappers.
Which I was just going to say, speaking of that vintage of goalie, in the Western Conference Final right now is a North Bay product.
Yeah, and then, and that was the cool thing about the OHL post when they showed the final four teams, right? It was pictures. One of them was Arnsby for the battalion, and then one was Gaudreau in the background. I said, how cool is it that we have two North Bay-related things in the OHL Final Four?
If only we used Gaudreau as the picture for the Petes, that would have been...
Yeah, that would have been neat. As Cam Gaudreau, of course, former North Bay Battalion, playing last season with the troops, then traded this year for Braden Hislop and Josh Bloom, along with Nick Sema going to Saginaw. And then Saginaw flipped Cam Gaudreau at the deadline to the Petes.
Yeah.
And Nick Sema continued on with Saginaw. Saginaw also winning the host bid for the Memorial Cup for next year.
Yeah.
So, Saginaw is going to do everything they can to beef up their roster for next year. And when you got a guy like Michael Misa, who was fantastic his rookie season, he's going to be that much better next year.
Yeah. And I mean, back on the Gaudreau note, he's a player that there was not much fanfare, maybe wasn't even going to get much ice time, wasn't, not expected to play, maybe a 7th or 8th position defenseman. And due to injuries on the team, he ended up getting a fair amount of ice time and made good of it on it. And now he's in his second Eastern Conference Finals.
It has many years, just not for the good guys this year.
Yeah, but
Gaudreau was interesting. I remember watching that camp last year, and he took a healthy run at Co, who then in turn had Arnsby come in and take a healthy run at Gaudreau. And we're talking about Arnsby before he was given the C as well.
Yeah.
So, but it was interesting. Then he dropped the gloves with Alex Christopoulos a couple of days later in camp as well.
Yeah.
So Cam Gaudreau really doing his part in standing out. And Adam Dennis and Ryan Ullaham liked what they saw from him, enough to sign him to a players package. And now look at him again, back-to-back years in the Eastern Conference Final.
That's the thing. I think it goes to show that Saginaw saw something in him. And I don't know if they were thinking that they saw something in him for them, as they were looking probably more towards next year, but they saw this player's a piece that we can move at a deadline to a team that wants to be a competitor this year.
Yeah, Saginaw's a bit of a weird story this year, because at the time that they made the trade for to send Josh Bloom and Braden Hislop away, they were first in the West. And I'm sure a guy like Bloom and Hislop not thinking they're going to get, especially Bloom because he's captain, not thinking that they're going to get moved, thinking that they're going to try and go as far as they can with the Spirit this year. And then next thing, okay, pack up your bags, you're going 16 hours north to North Bay.
Yeah.
Or not 16 hours north, I should say, but far enough north from Saginaw. So that's, a bit of a drive. So it's kind of interesting that was how things went down. And then, of course, Saginaw petered out because they knew that they were going to put in the bid for the Mem Cup. They knew, considering the timeline of them and Niagara,
Yeah.
they had to think that they felt pretty good about them getting the bid,
Yeah.
because I don't think Niagara's anywhere near competing next year, like at that level.
No.
They bottomed out pretty good this year.
I think the other thing, though, is Saginaw was a good team and they were doing well, but they also looked at and saw some of these other teams here in the West are just underperforming.
Yeah.
And do we want to take a run this year, or do we want to go for the Mem Cup and put ourselves in absolutely the best position to be competitive next year?
And to their credit, they did what they did. They still made it past the first round.
Yeah.
And then they fell in the second round pretty quickly. But, so Saginaw, not, again, just resetting a little bit for next year, and it's hard to argue. And, I mean, when you look at a guy like Nick Sema, you got to feel pretty good for him to do just that because, he's a good kid. He came here to the battalion. He was a second-round pick in the 2021 OHL priority selection.
Yeah.
And now to see him go and have some success and guaranteed spot in the Memorial Cup next year, unless he gets traded.
Yeah.
That's pretty, I think that's what every player kind of hopes for when they get to juniors, to chase that Memorial Cup.
Yeah. And he was one of the, players getting traded is part of the deal. That's what you're in for. That's part of the business. But I was unhappy to see him. I mean, Bloom and Hislop have both been good. I'm not saying they shouldn't have made that trade by any standards. Good trade for them, but I think it's going to work out well for Saginaw as well. And I really enjoyed seeing Nick Sema play. I
did
enjoyed
too.
his style. And I know his numbers weren't as high this year as I thought they were going to be, but I think he still has, this is only his second year in the league. Last year he was a draft year rookie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he's got a bright future ahead of him.
I believe he does indeed, and we'll quickly throw to a quick break. But last thing I'll say about it, we had Dave Drinkhill, the general manager of the Spirit, on our NOHA chat along with Adam Dennis, and both of them echoed that, they're always looking to do right by their players. And I think that trade for Josh Bloom and Brayton Hislop is doing right for them. And I think sending Nick Sema to Saginaw is doing right by them. Anyways, we'll take a quick break here, and we'll be back for Puck Drop on the second period on the front line after this.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
And we welcome you back inside North Bay Memorial Gardens, the Peterborough Memorial Center. Close enough in age, close enough in name, just different cities. I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Long as we get set for the opening draw here of period number 2.
And we will, as usual, say puck drop as the puck's about to drop here.
Puck is dropped and we are underway for period number 2. And the Petes have the puck quickly. McCoy flips it around behind the Battalion net. It's going to come to Othman on the near side. Othman tries to throw it on net, and it's knocked aside by DiVincentis. Now up for Zito. Zito gains the blue line. Throws it into the corner. Spearing gets to it. And now it's up quickly for Robertson. Robertson gets past Robertson, who falls. DiVincentis makes the save. And there was a rebound there, but the Petes weren't able to gobble it up, as now Hayes gets it back into his own zone for McCoy. Down for Winslow. Winslow, who blew a tire leading to that chance for the Petes, sends it in deep for Spearing, but now McCoy gets to it. McCoy behind his net. Tries to flip it up. He does. And that one's going to go down the ice to the Battalion end. And we'll get another stoppage. We'll get our first stoppage here of the period with the Battalion getting a offensive zone draw.
Yeah, they had North Bay had Peterborough hemmed pretty well on their end there. And McCoy saw that, didn't see any chances to move the puck healthily, so he just fired it down the ice to take the face off. But you can tell that, see that tired look in people's eyes as they're 50 seconds into their first shift.
Battalion try to win the draw. Van Steensel knocked down. As now the puck knocked around the near side to Lucan. Lucan battling behind the net as the puck is just stuck up against the boards. 3 maroon sweaters in there. Now 2. As McCoy tries to stop Van Steensel from getting to the puck. Spearing gets to it and gets it to Robertson. Robertson goes down the ice looking for Hayes. Hayes had the puck knocked off by Tarasevic. Now Lucan gets to it. Lucan behind the net to Nelson. Nelson quickly up the ice. It gets to Arnsby, who gets a piece of it, so no icing. Now Simpson near side to Beck. Beck loses it to Jackson. Jackson throws it on net. That one just went wide. Beck back to the point. Mathurin thought about pinching up, but decides against it. As now Lockhart gets to it, but now he loses it to Mathurin. Mathurin left it behind for Jackson. Pete's get to it. Now it's tipped on front, turned aside by DiVincentis. Sent back in for Ertel. Ertel moving around as now Bloom takes a high stick. No call coming on that one. Ertel in on Simpson, turned aside by the goaltender. Dovro, far side, is back to Mathurin. Mathurin flipping that one on net, is turned aside. Now Bloom tried to set up for the shot, but it hopped over his stick. And going the other way is Paget. Paget throws it on net, turned aside by Hislop. And now Bloom back on the counterattack. Battalion into Pete's territory. Over for Jackson. Jackson in front. Good chance there for Ertel. Couldn't get the shot away. As it was a good tic-tac-toe passing play by the Battalion. Perdeller going cross ice looking for Maillet. Maillet couldn't get the shot away, and now Jackson has the puck behind his net. Jackson quickly up ice looking for Bloom, who just kicks it into Pete's territory and goes off for a change. Puck flipped down into the Battalion zone. Winslow chops at it, goes far side, and now that's a big hit against McCallum from Van Steensel. Smith, or Maillet rather, in his own zone. Up for Lockhart. Lockhart flipping it back into the Battalion zone. Christopoulos will be first on that one behind his net. Christopoulos creates some separation. Gets it up to Van Steensel. Now to Wakely. Wakely up to Romani. It hops off his stick and goes into the Pete's zone. And Spearing gets to it before Romani takes him into the boards. Now the puck once again up against the boards there. And a battle ensues between the Petes and the troops. And coming away with it is Peterborough. Flipping it down the ice. That's no icing called by the linesman there. So Brskowski gets to it, but he's tripped up himself. And now his stick. Now there's going to be a delayed penalty here. As Brskowski's stick was stuck there. And it looks like Brskowski's going to be penalized. So for those of you counting at home, that's 2 power plays for the Petes, none for the Battalion.
I couldn't tell which way that one was going to go because the stick was being held.
Well, it's funny, the Battalion got 2 holding stick penalties at home. And then we got the Petes here at home who don't get a holding the stick.
Yeah, so that was, I mean, the stick was there, and I see why it was called for hooking, but it was definitely being held after the hook happened in the first place.
It's not like he could get a stick back.
Yeah.
And they waited a long time to put the hand up, too.
Yeah, had the hand gone up right away, yes, definitely, that's a hooking penalty. Because they waited while the stick was being held then. Kind of funny, but...
Arnsby in for the draw against Robertson. On the near side down by the broadcast. And it's one to the Battalion. Lucan falls though, and Hayes gets to it in the corner. Hayes, Lockhart, back to the point for Othman. Othman faked the shot. Now he goes cross ice to White. White flips it in for Lockhart. Lockhart in deep for Robertson, who passes it over to Othman. Othman out front now for Hayes. Hayes goes cross ice off the post. The Petes could have tied it up there. The horn does go off, but the referee said no goal. And the horn did signal though, as they had a wide open net on that one on the power play.
The horn signaled and the fans started cheering, but everyone on the ice knew that was not a goal. None of the Pete's players started celebrating, even they just kept playing, so that tells you what it was, but it looked close.
And we're back on the penalty play here for the Petes. Othman, far side, in deep for Hayes. Hayes in the slot as the puck just sits there. Now the Battalion try to come away with it. Robertson near side to Lockhart. Lockhart back to the point. Walks the line over to Othman. Othman back to the point for White. White thought to shoot. Now he does. The puck tipped wide of the net. Hayes near side. In deep now for Robertson. A minute left on the power play. Robertson to White at the point. White throws it back on net. Tipped high over the net. And now the Petes come away with it again. Othman back to the point for White. White flipping it back on net. That one's tipped wide of the net once again. And now the puck is up against the netting for the Battalion. As the puck comes loose, Robertson sends it back, and we'll get a hand pass call there by the linesman back at the point.
And this Peterborough power play that statistically has not been that dangerous is looking really dangerous out there yet again. They looked really good yesterday when they ended up with the one short or power play goal. Yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit of changes on the penalty kill on North Bay's end because Peterborough's getting way too many good-looking chances.
Face-off won by the Petes all the way down to their own zone as the face-off had come out of their zone for the hand pass. And there's 40 seconds left on the Bruskowski penalty. From his own zone, Zanetti goes back to Avon. Avon up the ice, back in for Avon. Avon had the puck knocked off his stick, but then he sends it back around for Maillet. Maillet throws it right back around from where it came, and it's Beck. Beck battling with Winslow. Nelson comes in for support. The Battalion try to flip it out. It doesn't get out. And now Maillet at the point. Back to Avon. Avon goes around the end wall. Beck gets to it, hops off his stick. Zanetti back in for Beck. Now it's out front. Nelson stopped it up. Bloom gets it, sends it down the ice, and that'll kill off the remaining seconds here on the Bruskowski penalty as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. 6 minutes gone here in the second period. Battalion lead 2-1. Nias Mathurin with the puck in his own zone. Goes up ice for McDonald. McDonald with some speed. Gains the Pete's zone, has the puck right off his stick. Something about Kyle McDonald doesn't seem the same as Kyle McDonald in the Barrie series. Has the puck jumping over his stick an awful lot here through 3.5 games. Pete's McCoy to McCallum. McCallum in for Dubois. Dubois takes a shot. That one misses Divincentis' net. Now McDonald tries to flip it out of the zone. Spearing gets to it though and keeps it in. Spearing in deep for Page. Page in the corner. Tried to go out front. That one's blocked by a Battalion player. And the Battalion get it out of their zone, but not very far to Govro. Govro back in deep. McDonald on the near side flips it back around. And now Mathurin gets it in the far side corner. Mathurin up for Petrov. Petrov center ice pass to McDonald. Leaves it for Hislop. Hislop gains the red line. Tried to flip it out, but the Battalion do eventually get to the loose puck that just sat there for a solid 5 seconds. McDonald in the near side corner. Round for Petrov. Petrov tries to skate it out from the corner. Now he goes behind the net, flips it around. Goes out front for McDonald. McDonald with a shot turned aside by Simpson. And the puck is flipped out of the Battalion, out of the Pete's zone to Christopoulos. Quickly to Winslow. McDonald gets a stick on that one and sends it into the Pete's zone. Now Govro gets to it. Govro has the puck miss him. That's a miss Othman, I should say. as the puck missed all the Petes, and now we'll have an icing call against Peterborough.
Yeah, and as you mentioned about McDonald, I've noticed that about a bunch of the players, particularly the last 2 days down here in Peterborough, that the puck seems to be bouncing a lot over sticks. The amount of passes yesterday that were missed by a puck just hit a weird hop over someone's stick was, I mean, it's notable.
It is indeed. As the puck is flipped out of the Pete's territory, and Hayes gets to it. Hayes battling with Nelson. He's taken off the puck and slides into the corner. Now it's Tarasevic who gets it up ice quickly for Van Steensel. Goes cross ice for Arnsby. Arnsby back to Nelson. Nelson takes a shot. Simpson, it's in! Ty Nelson makes it a 3-1 game for North Bay.
That was, I mean, that's the Nelson goal that we expect to see, right? Gets the puck high over the circle, takes a shot, and well, they're not even really holding up there. I mean, that clearly was not offside, but
Ty Nelson's 5th of the playoffs, and that's also his first goal of the series. As we get set for the puck drop here, it's a 3-1 hockey game for North Bay. Wakely wins it over to Romani. Romani flips it right back in to the Pete zone. Simpson out to play the puck, and Peterborough gains possession. Flipped in to the Battalion zone. Christopoulos gets it behind his net. Avon all over him. Christopoulos taken to the ice, gets back up, still has possession, gets it to Romani on the far side half wall. Now it's flipped up and out of play by the Petes as the puck just squirted out for a second, and Lockhart sent it up and over the glass.
Yeah, and North Bay's back to the 2-goal lead that they had earlier in the first. And I'm sure this time they're going to try and make a concerted effort to keep that 2-goal lead as it is, because they don't want to be heading into the third with just a 1-goal lead, heading with a 2-goal lead. I mean, North Bay, I don't know if they've lost a game going up 2 goals in the third.
Well, job's not done yet, of course.
Nope.
We're just close to the 29-minute mark of the game. And the Petes come back in with some offense. Takes a shot. Divinchetta stops that one. Quickly puts the paddle out to get the rebound and cover it up. And we'll get another stoppage here.
Yeah. And we're starting to see more of that pushing in front of the net after the whistles. It's not at scrum level yet, but it is at the level where there's usually 1 or 2 guys from either team hanging out there and getting a little push. I've also seen a lot of Wakely jerseys in the building, being from the area. This is hometown game for him growing up watching the Petes.
Admittedly, he was a big Petes fan, he said. But admittedly now, could care less for the maroon, he told me, when he was first drafted by the Battalion. Battling along the near side wall. The Battalion can't get it out as it goes cross ice. Bounces out. Chance there by Hayes. Back to the point for Maye, who takes the shot. A late shot as it was blown down on the high stick call against the Petes.
Yeah, and the faceoff will come outside of the end. I'm surprised that didn't get a little more of a reaction on the late shot towards the goalie. People are usually very sensitive about that, but I'm glad to see
it was kind of bang bang, so yeah. I got it.
Cool heads prevailing though. Also, I'm sure the message on the Battalion bench is keep it cool, don't take any unneeded penalties.
Now here's a chance for Lefebvre. Goes cross ice, and it's knocked aside by the Battalion as they couldn't get a chance on net. That was McCallum. Puck going cross ice. McCallum gets it in deep. And now Mathurin chases after it. Mathurin with Hislop. Hislop goes back behind the net to Jackson. Jackson, who has a goal here for the Battalion in this one, gets it back to Hislop. Hislop up the ice, sends it down. It's off the kick plate. That works at Memorial Gardens, not so much here, as Hislop and Bloom now exchanging some words on the ice as they got their wires crossed on that one.
Yeah. Now, it's McCallum. I saw he's had no games played up till this point in the playoffs. He's wearing the full cage. Is he coming back from an injury, or is he...
I'm not sure. I don't know much about him, if I'm being honest.
Well, maybe we'll ask someone. Maybe we won't. We'll find out.
McCoy back out front, blocked by the Battalion as Hayes tried to get a shot away. Now another chance there by the Petes, and Divinchentis hops on that one. Robertson jumped in there as well, but it's a save for Divinchentis.
Yeah, and that was Robertson took a little swipe at DiVincentis' glove, and I think it was his lob took a little fall on Robertson's head.
Yeah, he took the helmet off of him.
Yeah, that kind of looked like one of those elbows from the top ropes almost type of move.
It was kind of one of those, oh, I'm sorry I fell on you.
Yeah. Oh no, I keep falling on you.
As I've heard some former goaltenders describe it, falling strategically.
Yeah.
Dubois in for the draw for the Petes. It's one back. And Othman nearly cleared the zone, but McCoy kept it in. Zito blocked it. Now it is out of the zone. Othman will have to chase after it. Othman in his own zone. Going to McCoy. McCoy flips the puck down the ice. Is picked up by Hayes. Hayes looks to go cross ice for Othman. He does find him after the puck hit a couple of bounces, and now he's called on the high stick call. So another face-off here out of the zone. Pete's fans don't like it. Othman doesn't like it.
But, I mean, you can not like it all you want, but if you touch the puck with a high stick, it's high sticking.
10-11 as we're reaching the 30th minute of this game. Battalion are up 3-1 so far. 17-15 are the shots in favor of the Petes. Spearing going cross ice for McCoy. McCoy back to Spearing, flips it into the Battalion zone. Paget got a piece of it. And now Christopoulos takes a hard hit from Dubois. He's down on the puck. Paget tries to come away with it. He does. And quickly on that was Winslow. Pete's back to Spearing at the point. Spearing flips it in deep. Christopoulos gets to it first. And it's cleared back in by Dubois. Now Winslow battling with Paget. Winslow hard on the far side corner. Comes back to Perdeller. And now Winslow gets to it. Winslow up to McDonald. And he's going to get out of the zone. Quickly over to Petrov. Petrov flips it into the Pete's zone. Now McDonald, all sorts of interference on him. No call coming on that one. And the Petes go the other way. Nelson to Zito. Zito over to Lucan. Lucan takes a hit from Beck, but he makes the play and sends it into the Pete's zone. McCoy with it. Quickly up ice for Beck. Beck knocked off the puck. And Avon's going to get to it on the near side, battling with Nelson. Avon and Nelson coming to blows. Now it's going to be Van Steensel out of the zone. Van Steensel gains the Pete's zone, takes a shot. Wakely, or Arnsby I should say, was knocked down. And we'll get a call there, or a stoppage there. And that'll bring us to our mid-period break. The Battalion hold a 3-1 advantage so far here in game number 4 of the Eastern Conference Final.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
And we welcome you back inside the Peterborough Memorial Center. With 8:54 left on this clock, the Battalion have a 3-1 lead on the Petes. Hope you're enjoying our new little feature. It still says 2-1 on our scoreboard, though, so we might need to change that.
Yeah, sorry, folks. I'm not used to having to keep this bit updated here, but
we just keep putting more and more responsibilities on you.
Yeah.
You're going to need a union soon, because are you getting paid anymore? Nope.
Nope.
And that's how we like it.
The worst thing is it's all brought on by my own self. I could just be like, no, Matt, sorry. That feature that you sent me doesn't work.
Oh, yeah. Now we have a DVD floating around on the screen right now, and everyone knows that you want it to get in the corner. Look at that. It blew up the scoreboard. That's my favorite part of one of the Office episodes, when they're like all just watching him. Michael thinks they're watching him.
Yeah.
And then they get it and they cheer, and he's like, all right, cool, I'll see you. Puck drop to the near side of Simpson. The Battalion win it back, but it's out of the zone as Lucan couldn't get to it. Now Avon with some speed, as we've seen him show off some wheels in the series. Got to the puck first. Nelson knocked the puck off his stick, and it's out of the zone. DiVincentis plays it behind his net, leaves it for Lucan. Now Lucan looks up the ice for Nelson. Nelson flips it in to Van Steensel. Van Steensel got it in deep. Now Tarasevich battling for it, but Beck comes away with it. Beck down to Othman. Othman flips it into the Battalion zone and chases after it. Winslow to it first. Avery Winslow got out of the zone. Hayes tried to glove it. Couldn't get it. And then Hayes tried to tip it back in, but Winslow picks it up. Far side, Tarasevic to Govro. Govro battling for it, gets the puck. Maye comes away with it. And the Battalion do keep it in the zone. As Jackson walks out front, tried to feed Ertel, who was streaking in, but that one's picked off by the Petes. Now back down the ice for Othman. Othman with a shot kicked aside by Divinchentis. Now Christopoulos takes Othman down hard. Hayes comes in, puck still in the corner. Othman very slow, and that's going to be a penalty. So once again, for those counting at home, 3-0 Petes on the power play.
That's
3-1 in the game.
Getting called boarding.
So the Petes are now going to their third power play of the game.
Yeah.
Battalion still searching for their first power play of the game.
Yeah, I'm guessing we might be a little while waiting on that still, but
Certainly seems that way. That's the thing that frustrates me when a team gets called. Okay, yeah, like that's a penalty, but you're going to tell me the Petes have played a clean game to this point. You know, like just call it even if you're not. I know I'm going to sound like Paul Maurice after the game yesterday, where he complained about all the penalties against the Panthers, but whatever.
So my big thing is that I genuinely don't believe it's malicious reffing. It's just there's always going to be, the human element to the game.
Puck won by the Petes, but Van Steensel gets to it and sends it down the ice to kill off some time here on the man advantage. 10 seconds gone already. Paul Christopoulos in the box, one of the Battalion valued penalty killers here. Maye has the puck knocked away. Perdeller gets it cross ice to Zanetti. Now in deep for Avon, back to Zanetti. Zanetti takes the shot, it's off the post and turned wide. As now the puck back in deep, Perdeller battling for it. Pete's come away with it as Maye gets it back out for Avon. Avon cross ice to back, that one's blocked by Lucan, who's down.
He is in pain.
And he is in a lot of pain. As now Arsby looking very unimpressed with Maye, as fans here are unimpressed that the referee called it for an injured player on the ice. As the Petes look to be cooking. Lucan very slow.
Yeah.
He's still down on the ice.
That was a solid shot from Beck, and it hit him what looked like right at the top of the kneecap where you don't have any protection there.
Yeah.
This could be a serious injury.
Yeah, we might see Lucan out for a while on this one.
I would hate to see that. I sincerely hope that this is just like a bruised bone scenario where it's not severe damage, just a lot of pain.
You know what, I gotta say, I've been pretty impressed with Peterborough and the fans around here until that moment.
Yeah, I mean,
they're still kind of jawing now at the referee saying it's junior hockey and all this stuff. The guy's injured.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I get how it looks kind of suspicious to a fan that,
Well, the health and wellness of everyone on the ice should be taken first and foremost.
That's true. I'm not sure if the shoe was on the other foot, if we would not have those same.
Oh, I know. There's
crowd,
been
right?
we talked about this on the podcast about the fans in the last series between Barrie and North Bay and how fans on both sides, got into it.
Yeah.
But that's something that to me I'm like, no, that's just you don't do that.
I'm not a fan of that. I believe in cheering for hockey, but these are people out there also, especially at this level.
We're back underway. Othman with the puck on the far side. Near side to White. A minute and 10 seconds left on the man advantage here. White near side to Lockhart. Lockhart nearly lost the puck to Mathurin. Now it's Robertson walking behind the net with it. Back out to Othman. Othman to White. White looked to take the shot. He does take the shot. That one's blocked by Mathurin. And now Robertson gets to it. He tries to take a shot. Arnsby clears it to safety, but Hayes gets it. Now Othman on the far side. Othman to Robertson. He missed the shot. As now the puck is out to the neutral zone with 40 seconds left on the clock. On the Christopoulos penalty. Up the ice to Hayes. Hayes flips it around the end wall. Robertson to it first. Sends it back to the near side for Hayes. Hayes on the near side half wall. Gets it out front to Othman. Othman couldn't shoot. Gets it back to White. White with the shot. And then it came to the corner. Othman couldn't do anything with it, so it's to Hayes. 15 seconds left on the man advantage. Back to White. White takes the shot. Divincento's got the glove on that one. And it's back into the corner. Hayes gave it away to Tarasevic. Tarasevic skates it out of harm's way. Down the ice with 5 seconds left. The Battalion are going to kill off another penalty. He takes the shot, and it's off the glove of Simpson and out of play.
Yeah, and that was a weird bounce. And as a goalie, that's always unnerving when the puck hits your glove and then bounces away. You take that moment and you always want to reset after that because you're not controlling where it's going when it's coming out of your catch glove because you don't intend it for it to go anywhere. So that could be going anywhere. Where it's a blocker, you're directing it a bit more.
Pete's with possession in their own zone. Flip it down the ice. Brustowski knocks it down. Perdeller gets to it, though, and another chance, and the Pete's score. J.R. Avon brings the Pete's to within 1 here with 5:30 left in this second period.
Yeah, and that was an unfortunate bounce of the puck off of Brustowski there. And when he went to bring it down, it just kind of popped the wrong direction right onto Perdeller's stick. It gave him, by default, a 2-on-1 with Avon.
J.R. Avon's 4th of the playoffs, his first point of the series. So all these Pete's players are picking up their first points so far of the series, it seems, in this one.
We have some yelling going between the players back and forth over the face-off there.
Battalion still hold a 3-2 lead here with 5:30 left in the second period. Although because they've been penalized 3 times, they are outshot 20-16. As now the puck back down into the Pete's zone. Mathurin takes a big hit, and it's knocked back down by Nelson. And flipped back into the Pete's zone by the Pete's. Now it's up the ice. Mathurin gets to it. Mathurin, cross ice for Nelson. Nelson goes cross ice. McDonald would have been offside. McCoy with the puck, flips it into the Battalion zone. And now Nelson gets to it. Nelson with the puck. Goes out to the blue line for Petrov. Petrov flips it down into Pete's territory. Simpson behind his net, plays it to McCoy. Back down for Lockhart. Lockhart, middle of the ice to Beck. Or Paget, sorry. Paget loses it to Christopoulos. McDonald had it briefly. Lockhart sends it right back down to his own zone. Near side, Zanetti sends it into the Battalion zone. Lefebvre battling with Christopoulos. And Lefebvre comes away with it. Lefebvre back into the corner. Zito picks that one up. Zito to Winslow. Winslow battling for it by himself behind the net. It comes to Lefebvre. Lefebvre back to the point for Govro. Govro sends it back in deep. Winslow tries to come away with it. Winslow now pins it against the boards. Flips it around near far side. Beck with it. Back into Lefebvre. Flipped back out to the point for Govro. And the puck is back in deep for Winslow. Winslow held up there by Lefebvre. No call coming on that one. Petrov once again gains the blue line, gains the red line, and he carries it into Pete's territory. Petrov back for McDonald. McDonald goes behind the net for Petrov. Petrov out front to nobody, so Robertson picks it up. And now Hayes going the other way. Hayes gives it in for Robertson. Robertson centering pass is blocked by Hislop. And Hislop sends it down the ice. Now to McDonald. McDonald skates in. Stops up. Throws the puck on net. Simpson turns it into the corner. Wakely has a Pete player draped all over him. Sends it back into the corner. But now Pete's regained possession. Robertson back into Battalion territory. Hislop going to get to the loose puck though. Keeps it away from him. Now Romani flips it over to Nelson. 3:09 left here in this period. And now it's into Wakely. Wakely walking in. Goes cross ice for Romani. Romani behind the net. Romani behind to Wakely. Wakely back to Van Steensel. Van Steensel goes back to the point for Christopoulos. Christopoulos walks in, takes the shot. That one's over the net and over Simpson's glove. And now the Pete's looking to have a breakaway. That was Othman. And that'll go for icing now, as Othman couldn't get a chance on that one, and Othman and Christopoulos exchange words. 2:41 left in the second period. Battalion lead 3-2.
As much as I'm sure a lot of players would like to drop the gloves with Othman the way he's been playing, I have trouble believing anyone is going to at this point with what happened to Van Steensel last game when he tried to and Othman just didn't.
Yeah, something tells me he won't. Arnsby in for the offensive zone draw, loses it cleanly. The Petes get it up to Othman high in the point, and he tries to get it out, and he does, flipping it off the glass and down the ice. Winslow gets to it, and we'll get a stoppage here.
So there's Yeah, Arnsby hit him in the corner, and it was a clean hit, but his face then went and smashed against the boards on his own. And yeah, he's been down ever since.
Funny how when it's on the other foot, they don't mind when the play is called down. Just saying. 3-2 Battalion lead, 20-17 the shots on goal. As the Pete's player in the corner, that's Spearing, slowly gets to his feet. Of course, the big leadership, part of the big leadership here in Peterborough. Spearing looking over. Of course, taking the number of the Mack truck that hit him.
Yeah, but that was Arnsby, so he's probably better off not to do anything about it.
Spearing going off the ice entirely, looking to go for some repairs maybe. He was jawing with Nelson a little bit too. As now the puck's going to be dropped here at the Battalion blue line. Arnsby in for the draw against Dubois. Dubois wins it back, and now Perdeller gets to it. Flips it into the Battalion zone. Nelson, near side corner, gets it up to Tarasevich. Tarasevich tried to get it out. Now the Battalion do get it out as Van Steensel's knocked off the puck. And now we're going to see another penalty against the Battalion. For those keeping track at home, 4 penalties to nothing now. It's almost comical when the Pete's fans are crying for a penalty.
Yeah.
Whenever something happens, because they're up 4 power plays to none.
And the reality is, that call was a trip. I'm not going to say that wasn't a call.
That's going to be Jackson in the box.
When they've missed as many as they've missed the other way is where it starts to be an annoying thing.
Arnsby in for the draw in the defensive zone to the near side of DiVincentis. Linesman determines it wasn't done fairly, so he's going to do it again. As now we have a stop here by the referee, and he says okay. 2:07 left on the clock. They do have to fix that, though, as it shows a second gone on the power play. So it says 1:59 left, when it should say 2 minutes. And it's taken them some time to change it.
This is an interesting delay.
Well, we've seen all kinds of delays here in our 2 games.
Yeah.
Now they've taken the penalty completely off the board. I'll take that. There it is, back to 2 minutes. Looks like we're finally going to get underway now. Arnsby in for the draw with Robertson. Battalion win it, but it's tied up on the draw, and now it's flipped out by Van Steensel, but not very far. White back into his own zone. Slowly in front of his net. Up the ice now for Hayes. Robertson flips it in. Arnsby battling for it with Robertson. Now it's in the corner. Winslow comes away with it, tries to get it out, but Othman's there for it. Now the puck comes around near side. It will be kept in by Hayes briefly. As White loses it, now Van Steensel's in on a break. Owen Van Steensel in, takes the shot, saved by Simpson. Van Steensel with a good look off, shorthanded. And now the Pete's slowly from their own zone again. Flip back in. Christopoulos in the corner, battling for it. Robertson looking to get to it. 1:05 left on the penalty. 1:10 left in the period. Comes out to Nelson. Nelson slowly down the ice. Gives it over to Van Steensel. Van Steensel decides to go for another rush. Takes a shot, he scores! Owen Van Steensel with his second of the game. This time shorthanded.
Wow. I mean, that was a great play just from Nelson stalling with the puck. And he just held there through the center ice. I'm like, I don't know, is he just going to sit here for the whole 2 minutes? And then throws it off to Van Steens, who just burns him wide and takes a sharp angle shot. That was a beautiful goal. Now, the irony to me is we were talking about the players earlier, and we were talking about how Van Steensel, what he brings to the team, and you made a joke about goals in the playoffs so far.
He's Mr. Empty Netter.
Yeah, but his empty net goals, and now he's like, oh, think I can only score empty net, eh? I'll score 2 on Simpson. Take that, Courtney.
Well, I'll take it. Van Steensel with his 5th of the playoffs. That's his 3rd of the series. Only one of those coming empty netter as we're back underway. 30 seconds left on the man advantage. Zanetti. Cross ice to Beck. Now to Avon. Avon back to the point for Zanetti. Zanetti lost it to Hertel, and Hertel's going to flip it down the ice. 25 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Zanetti gets it out front to Beck. Beck up the ice quickly to Avon. Avon takes a shot. That's behind the net. Thrown back out front. Turned aside by the side of the net as Divinchentis didn't get a chance to get a save on that one. Now Maillet with it. 5 seconds remaining on the Christopoulos penalty. Out front. Back out to Maillet. To White. White throwing it on net. Blocked in front. And Maillet gets to it. Now 4 seconds left in the period. Back out front. Another save by Divinchentis. And the puck is cleared out. And that'll do it for the second period here. As Avon and Hertel exchange some words as well here late in the period. So far through 40 minutes of play, the Battalion doubling up the Petes 4-2, Ben.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of, North Bay scored 2, Peterborough scores 1, North Bay scores 1, Peterborough scores 1, North Bay scores 1. So I'm sure the troops are very happy to be going into this last break up by 2. Especially with 4 goals, knowing that Simpson rarely lets in more than 3. They already have 4 on them. It's looking good for them, and Dom rarely lets in more than 3 as well.
Now we have Othman, who's skating, and Christopoulos is getting his money's worth with the referee at the Battalion. And Othman skating out front. The linesman telling him to get back. Othman was chirping away at Nelson and Christopoulos. Christopoulos does go off, and now he's yelling back at Othman.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's going on.
Yeah, now we got Pete's fans saying he's chirping away, and Othman and Avon come back out on the ice as Avon's going to go for a interview, it looks like, but Othman's just skating around. I wonder what's going on there.
He's kind of looking over at the Battalion bench for someone to chirp at, but there's no one there.
No, it's just the coaching staff who's looking for a referee to come over and explain some things, and Mackenzie Campbell and Andrew Satchku, the equipment managers and trainers who are trying to get the attention of the Pete's trainers, of course, to say, hey, maybe we need something. As Satch said, most of these guys are, teammates off the ice, the trainers and the equipment guys. I think they're looking for Gatorade, but Othman's still out there taking his time, as now the referees are pointing over at the Battalion bench and telling them to go. They're just looking to talk to the referees.
Yep.
Now he, come on.
I don't understand.
Well, that was some big boy energy right there. Skated over there and just kind of pulled his hands and looked at Ryan Houlihan and said, what are you going to do?
Already walking away.
Yeah, like, okay, whatever. Anyways, with that being said, before we get in trouble, we're going to go to a quick break here on the Frontline Game Day broadcast.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
And we welcome you back inside the Peterborough Memorial Center here as the North Bay Battalion are up 4-2 after 40 minutes of play here against the Petes. I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Long. And, well, our players to watch have allowed a combined 6 goals behind them so far, Ben.
Yeah, for all we were talking about them, this game hasn't panned out in their favor the way they were probably expecting it to. I imagine Dom DiVincentis is much more happy with his results so far than Michael Simpson, but with the firepower that both these teams have, the game's long from over.
Long from over for sure. We have another 20 minutes to go, and the Battalion once again up by 2 goals here heading into the third period. But we'll talk about another game happening right now because, well, the Eastern Conference Final is not the only final happening right now as we talk about the Western Conference Final. After 40 minutes of play, the Sting are trying to even that series up at 2. They're up 5-3 right now at the end of the second. Barkey getting the goal there in the second period, whereas for the Knights, or for Sarnia, Burke, Limpar, Lance, and Wainwright getting the goals there. And turning our attention to our own game, the scoring here is eerily similar, 2-1 both periods, so it's 4-2.
Yeah.
Shots on goal, the Petes have a slight edge, 21-19, even given all those power play opportunities that they have. They're now 0-4 on the power play. And the face-offs are not looking good, 28-12 in favor of Peterborough. In that second period, well, it's all green when it comes to penalties. Luke Ruskowski for hooking at the 3:41 mark. Paul Christopoulos for boarding at 12:20. And Kyle Jackson for tripping at 17:35. The goals in that period goes to Ty Nelson with his 5th, assisted by Owen Van Steensel, Liam Arnsby. Owen Van Steensel has 3 points so far tonight, so good for him.
Yeah.
J.R. Avon with his 4th in the 14:29 in the second, assisted by Tommy Perdeller, who has 2 points here on the night, getting a goal and an assist, and then Sean Spearing also with an assist. We'll have to see if he comes back in the third period as he went off for repairs. Excuse me. And then with a minute left in the period, Owen Van Steensel shorthanded with his 5th of the playoffs, assisted by Ty Nelson. And that's where we're at so far, up 4-2. Although I saw one of our fine friends back at home, Matt Sukram, saying Arnsby is 2 for 14 in the face-off circle. Zito is 2 for 9. Battalion have won 12 of 30 face-offs, not starting with the puck again tonight, which he's not wrong. Although, as I agree with Matt as well, Matt obviously siding with me on this one. Haven't been given, this is his words, haven't been given one power play opportunity though. Absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Which, again, and this is the caveat, whenever we talk about refereeing, it's a tough job. It's a very tough job, especially when you make calls in a packed building like this against a team that everyone here is rooting for, right?
Yeah.
And I get it. It's a tough job. But you can't make the calls you're making against one team and not make them against the other team.
Yeah.
Peterborough has not played a clean game here tonight.
No. And that's where I think that the aggravation comes in.
That's where I get upset.
Yeah. Is that, North Bay's going to get penalties, and some are going to go for you and some are going to go against you. But if they're all going against you, when teams are playing similar type games, I'm surprised how much holding the stick has been allowed in this game that hasn't been called yet.
I know, interesting stuff for sure. Shout out to Maritime Maniacs, Ty Nelson's relatives from the East Coast checking in. We also have Ty Nelson's from the relatives from the West Coast checking in as well. And of course, a big shout out to North Bay Wolverines, who's pumping our tires pretty good in the live chat. And Bramo, we'll take it. Richie Gold, who's been a big supporter as well, and Jay London, who's helping us out from London. He's a big Troops fan in enemy territory and what could potentially be the OHL final.
Yeah, we could be down visiting you in a couple weeks now.
Could be. Josh Farley hanging out as well. Hi, Josh.
Yeah.
Morningstar as well. Rebecca Dietrich, who will be there on Friday. Go say hello to her. Owen DeRoche, who will also be there Friday. Energy Gaming, I see that you've just joined us. We are an actual stream of the game, so welcome. Lauren the Raid, who's a big supporter of the program as well in the comments.
Nah, she's not. She's done nothing
terrible,
for us.
Harrison from, and it's funny because his YouTube name is The Garrison, like it's all caps, so it's like he's yelling at us.
He is the Garrison from Harrison.
He was looking for a scoreboard update, so he was looking for, you didn't give it to him right away, and then he did. But, and then Zach Thayer, hey, welcome to the chat, Zach. Looking forward to giving you guys some more third period content here. Again, we won't have the post-game press conferences live on our social medias like we did in games 1 and 2. That if you're looking for that, for some comments from that, you'll have to find it in Bay today on the write-up after the game, which I will have to do quickly before we hit the road back to North Bay tonight.
Yep.
And then, of course, if you're looking for a recap of some of the stuff, well, the OHL's been doing some really great social media here at these games. Doing some good recaps of those press conferences, so you can check it out there. And they even brought the Bobby Orr trophy along for a ride, which we got to get our pictures taken with.
Yeah.
We did not touch the trophy.
No, we did not.
We are superstitious here.
Well, I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious.
I'm a lot stitious. But yeah, no, we did not touch the trophy. We made sure not to. The Peterborough Your TV guys did.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
That's what you get with Your TV, though.
Well, maybe they're not superstitious. They're not even a little stitious.
No.
No, those guys are just like, yeah, yep, let's do this.
And they did comment about it.
Yeah, they were like, whatever.
The guy's like, you should touch it. He's like, I'm not going to touch it.
And then he did.
He said, what are you, superstitious? He's like, no, and then he touched it.
Why was he not going to? I don't get it why he wasn't going to touch it, but we talked about this, I think before the series, or at least off air. We talked about this with a group of us, where every year that the Battalion have been in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they've had the Bobby Orr Trophy presented. It's been presented every year at Memorial Gardens, 3 times so far. So the first year, the Battalion didn't have home ice advantage against Oshawa. They swept Oshawa. So Game 4 in North Bay, the Bobby Orr Trophy is presented there. Next year, Oshawa, once again with home ice advantage, beat the Battalion in 6, so Game 6 at Memorial Gardens. The trophy's presented to Oshawa. Last year, Hamilton with home ice advantage sweep the Battalion, and Game 4 is in North Bay Memorial Gardens, so it's presented there. The difference here, the Battalion with home ice advantage. This is Game 4. The Battalion are down 2-1 as of right now, looking to tie it up for Game 5 on Friday. Will we see the Bobby Orr Trophy presented here, or will we see it Friday?
Well,
will we see it Saturday or Sunday?
If North Bay ties this series up now, it's 2-2.
Yep.
And there's 3 games left in the series.
It's a best 2 out of 3. That's what Ryan always says, and he likes going into those situations with home ice advantage.
But at that point, it cannot be won in Game 5. So that means it's a 50-50 chance whether it be
here or in North Bay for Game 7.
Yep.
Which I don't know if our hearts can take another Game 7.
I don't want it. No.
It was exciting. Like the third period, the first two periods were not.
It was. I mean, it was an exciting game, but please 6. Please win in 6.
Somebody, anybody.
Yeah, anybody listening, make it happen. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's Yeah, Game 7, you know, they always say that Game 7 is one of the best things in sports. It's one of the best things in sports when your team wins it.
Yeah.
Trust me, as a Leaf fan, I don't like Game 7s.
It's the best thing in sports when your team wins it and you don't have a previous heart condition.
That too, yeah, that would probably be a good point. At last check, none of us do, thankfully. Although with your maple syrup intake.
Yeah. Between family history and advancing age, it's...
No, it's just the maple syrup. Blame it on that.
Maple syrup's good for your heart.
Is it actually?
I don't know.
I'm going to say it's not.
I don't think it's... there was a bunch of studies done about different types of sugars affecting your body differently.
Yeah.
And it came out in the study, and it wasn't done by maple producers, but you better believe they used it after this, was that it, like natural sugars, don't affect your heart nearly in as bad of a way as the processed
yeah.
sugars. So
But I mean, that makes sense.
So like maple syrup, although they boil down the sap, it's still all natural sugar in there.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better for you than many other options, like sugar in an apple or in, whatever fruits have a lot of sugar in them.
Yeah.
Are not particularly bad for you either.
No.
Because it's a natural sugar.
Well, here you're learning all about nutrition from the front line, which we probably aren't the right people to teach nutrition on.
On the same thing, there's been some messages going around. There's a video of Pierre-Luc There's been a lot of videos about guys eating mustard on the bench.
Yeah.
But there's a video of Pierre-Luc taking a shot of maple syrup on the bench. So there's been talk going around where I'm trying to get my family's maple syrup production onto hockey benches here.
You could probably make an easy sell with the Voodoos.
Oh, yeah, I should hit up Chris about that.
Chris Dawson, if you're listening to this right now, Long's Maple Syrup on the bench. Free advertising for Long's Maple Syrup.
Anyone in any position at any hockey team, hit us up if you want Long's Maple Syrup. Sponsored our broadcast last year.
They did. Oh, a fan just took a tumble as he was catching a giveaway from Roger, the Pete's mascot.
Is the dog's name Roger?
That's what it says on the back. Somebody's going to have to teach me the history of Pete. Maybe it'll be Papa Mike. I'll have to ask him why they have a St. Bernard for a mascot.
I don't know, but Petey is a very typical dog's name.
Yeah.
Buffalo should have a parakeet named Petey. That should be their mascot. Imagine a parakeet green bird with a maroon jersey on, though. That
would be very
great.
clashing.
Yeah.
Be very clashing. On the podcast side of things, well, we're going to be recording tomorrow. We're just not sure exactly who. We're hoping to have General Manager Adam Dennis on the show in studio for the very first time as well to talk about the OHL priority selection and the U18 draft. If not, you'll just have to deal with Ben Sargent and I just talking about hockey, which everybody loves to hear.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite thing to do. We need that live on the broadcast.
I have noise effects here. I don't know what I have, though. Let's see what we got.
Oh, that's a little loud. Oh, that's a laugh track. We always need that.
We're not laughing.
Clapping.
Some applause.
Oh, sad trombone.
That's an important one to have for us.
Yeah. Hey, that's a rim shot's also a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, spooky stuff.
Oh, we got 2 minutes left before us.
All right. Yeah, we should probably
here.
stop playing with effects here. So, if you're tired of us listening to sound effects, we'll be back on the other side of this on the Frontline Game Day broadcast.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
And we welcome you back inside the Peterborough Memorial Center here for the third and final period of Game 4 here. The North Bay Battalion are leading 4-2. They trail the series 2-1 to the Peterborough Petes. And the puck is dropped and we're underway. Back to Spearing, who's back out on the ice after taking a hard hit in that second period. Throws it into the Battalion zone. The Petes in their maroon jerseys are going left to right this period. The Battalion in the road whites are going right to left. It's up to Winslow. Winslow gains the red line, flips it in and around behind the Peterborough net. McDonald comes away with it and flips it back in for McCoy. McCoy couldn't get it past Petrov, and now Petrov has it jammed against the board. Spearing comes away with it. Spearing flips it up to Hayes. Hayes couldn't get it too far, and now Christopoulos sends it in for Simpson, and he almost took off Petrov's head in the process. McCoy with the puck. McCoy flips it down the ice, and Avon gets a piece of it into the Battalion zone. Winslow behind the net to Mathurin. Mathurin up for Tarasevich to Arnsby. Bounces off Arnsby's skate. And back into the Battalion zone. Mathurin on the far side wall, loses it to Avon. Now comes out to Tarasevich. Tarasevich battled it back to Mathurin. Mathurin in the corner battling with Lockhart. Now it's up to Tarasevich. Tarasevich lost the puck. Arnsby looking for an offside call. Deemed okay by the official. But Mathurin now has the puck and time behind his net. Mathurin down the ice for Tarasevich. He just tips it into the Pete zone. And now Peterborough has it again. Given away nearly to Bloom. He couldn't hold on to it though. Perdeller has it. Perdeller to Dubois. Takes a shot. Now it's out front. Paget tried to knock it on net. Dubois took a shot. It's fans on it though. And now it's sent in behind the net for Paget. Paget knocked off of it by Nelson. Nelson up to Bloom. Bloom flipped it out to center ice, and the Petes flip it right back down in. Nelson chasing it back into his own zone. Leaves it behind for Bloom. Bloom flips it out of his zone, looking down the ice for Ertel. Ertel couldn't get a hold on that one though, and now it's Perdeller with it. Perdeller up to Robertson. Robertson tried to take a shot. Another chance as the puck bounced cross ice to Hayes, or to Othman I should say. And that one's turned aside by DiVincentis. Now Jackson up to Ertel. Ertel takes a shot that's well high over the net and into the corner. Now Robertson going the other way. Robertson up to Hayes. Hayes gains the Battalion zone, takes a shot, blocked aside by DiVincentis, and now White has it. White flips it towards the net. It's out front on a no-look pass, and now Jackson picks it up. Jackson to Tarasevich. Tarasevich tried to flip it back in, and Jackson will peel off for a change. And Robertson has it behind his net. Robertson, pressured by Van Steensel, gets it to White. Now it's down to Hayes. Hayes flips it into the Battalion zone. Zanetti, first one in on that one, battling with Christopoulos in the square corner. And it's out to Van Steensel. Van Steensel tried to get it out, but the puck bounces over to Hislop. Hislop up the ice quickly for Tarasevich. Tarasevich in, takes a shot. He picked his corner and it missed the net. Back to Winslow. Winslow flips it right back in. Simpson stops that one up and leaves it for Govro. Govro lost it. Now it's Petrov with it. Petrov leaves it behind for Romani. Romani over to Petrov. And the good stick there by Maillet knocks that one aside as the puck never got to Petrov. Winslow flips it right back in. And now Maillet has it. Maillet gets it out to Beck, and that's going to go a high stick against the Petes again. Beck showing his frustration as he slams his stick down on the ice. Just 3.5 minutes gone here in this third period.
And that Romani and Petrov play looked eerily similar to the one with Jackson and Petrov for the second goal of last night's game. But earlier in that shift, Dom made a great save, sliding across blocker save, what would have been an open net had he not made it to there. And that may have been the save that saved the game for them.
So far, so good. Back out to Petrov. Petrov leaves it for Nelson, who throws it on net, turned aside by Simpson. And Nelson keeps the line again, throws it back on net, over Simpson's net. And the puck is into the corner. McCallum out, Winslow sends it right back in cross ice. Maillet to it first. Maillet behind his net. Stopped up by Romani. Romani to Smith. Smith battling with Romani now in the near side corner. Battle ensues here with Lefebvre and Smith, along with Maillet. Petrov in there for the Battalion along with Romani. The referee getting close to blowing the whistle. He decides against it as Lefebvre gets away with it. And now it's Zito on the near far side. Back to the point for Christopoulos. Christopoulos stops up, takes a shot. It's off the blocker of Simpson and into the corner. Petrov behind the net. Stops up, tried to flip it down. He's taken down hard. Held his face too while he was down. Nothing coming. Maillet takes a hit from Petrov. Leaves it though for Dubois. Dubois down the ice. Mathurin up for Zito. Zito knocked off the puck at the Pete's bench, but he gets it up to Jackson. Jackson throws it cross ice. McDonald coming in trying to get to it, but didn't have enough time as Christopoulos sends it right back into Pete's territory. Cross ice. 5 minutes gone here in this third period. 4-2 Battalion lead. It's up the ice for Robertson. Robertson knocked off the puck. Pass out front to Hayes is taken off as well. Now McDonald quickly into Pete's territory. McDonald stopping up. Tried to get it back. And now he's knocked hard into the boards. And the puck comes to Jackson. Jackson knocked hard into the boards as well. Flips it back around behind the net. Robertson, first one to that one. He loses it to Zito, but the puck ends up going over to Othman anyways. Now up for Hayes. Hayes walking in. Hayes tried to take a shot, fanned on it. And the Battalion quickly on the counterattack. Zito over for Hislop. Hislop flips it around behind the net. White to it. And the Petes once again have possession to Othman. Othman, former World Junior champion with Team Canada this year. Played the puck out. Now he gives it up to Arnsby. Arnsby walking in. Arnsby with the shot. Stopped by Simpson. Puck is loose. But the referee's going to blow the whistle as Othman got the puck right back to his goaltender.
Yeah. Now, I think that might have been looked at for offside there had he gone in, because although Arnsby picked up the puck, his feet might have been across the ice before, or his feet might have crossed the blue line before his stick brought the puck across. We have a slight hold up here as Lindsay's adjusting his pants at the blue line before the puck drops.
Arnsby in for the draw on the far side in the Pete zone. Back out to Maillet. Maillet flips it down the ice to Avon. And now Winslow gonna have to chase after with Lockhart in the corner. Sharp angle shot hits the side of the net from Lockhart. Pete's side of the net, get it out front. Another chance, couldn't get it past Divincentis as he gets his glove on it. Now another rough stuff after the whistle with Lockhart involved in Van Steensel.
Yeah, Lockhart was digging hard at Divincentis' glove, and obviously that is not going to be looked at kindly from players on the defensive end of that play.
Kind of a no-nothing play for the Petes. Almost turned into something.
Yeah, there was some bouncing around rebounds there, and like we talked about earlier, there's a lot of, the pucks are doing some weird bouncing around things that I don't know if there's something weird with the ice conditions, that players are missing passes, rebounds are bouncing funny. I don't know. There's something weird happening.
Puck dropped to the far side of the broadcast in the Battalion zone. Sent back in as the puck is off of a Pete's player and deemed out of play. Or maybe it's a high stick that they're looking at.
No, it looked like the ref pointing towards the meshing. It looked like the puck went up and hit the
I don't know if it hit the mesh because it was kind of out, but either way, play's dead. So we'll get another face-off here in the offensive zone. Yeah, far away from our broadcast booth.
There was another big holding the stick on Ertel from Lockhart while he was way out to the point.
Back to the point for Maillet's shot, knocked aside. Avon. Back to Bloom. Bloom tried to get it out. And now Nelson is just going to shovel it down for White. Sent back in by the Petes. It's dropped there for Nelson. Nelson up the ice quickly for Ertel. Ertel flips it into Pete's territory. And the Petes have it. White with the possession in his own zone. Flips it down the ice for Jackson. Hertel gets the benefit of that play by Jackson. Hertel walking into the middle, takes a shot off the shoulder of Simpson. Looked a little uncomfortable on that save. Now Jackson with the puck. Jackson back to Hislop at the point. Hislop sends it back in for Jackson, who whacks it towards the net, but it goes wide. Hertel with the puck. Comes back out for Jackson. Jackson knocks down his man. Bloom was looking for Hertel. Couldn't get a shot away, though, as now Beck has the puck behind his net. Just over 7 minutes gone here in this third period. Battalion are up 4-2. Hislop behind the net to Mathurin. Mathurin nearly gave it away, but Wakely gets to it. Now he gets it up to Petrov, and it was just out of his reach, but he gets it in deep anyways. Spearing and Petrov battle in the near side corner. Comes away to Wakely, but not for long as Perdeller gets to it. As Smith flips it right back into Battalion territory, and that'll go for icing against the Petes. And I know I talked about this a little bit in the first game, and I'll try to explain it again right now. Our broadcast booth is situated between the offensive dots and the blue line in the Pete's zone. So anything in the Battalion zone is so far away from us right now.
Yeah.
But anything in the Pete's zone, I can see everything.
Yep.
I have to lean right around a column here, too, to see into the near side corner, or Divincentis' glove side corner.
These poor guys in front of us have us yelling over their heads.
Yeah, Tarasevich takes a, I'm sure that's the last thing they want to hear is a Battalion broadcast. I gets excited when the away team scores. Page behind his net. Nearly came away with it was Van Steensel. Now it's Perdeller. Perdeller out of the zone, but it's stopped up by Christopoulos. Christopoulos down to Tarasevich. Tarasevich left it for Arnsby, but that'll be a hand pass.
Yeah.
So play is dropped dead on that one, as that was indeed a hand pass, and we're just under 8 minutes gone.
That was the most inconspicuous hand pass that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. He literally basically just handed it to him.
Whoop, here you go.
Yeah. Well, 4-2 Battalion lead. Face off at center ice. As now Winslow sends it in deep for Simpson to play the puck. McDonald nearly came away with the puck as Zanetti gave it away, but Zito gets to it. Zito tried to flip it out front. McDonald to it first, though, behind the net. McDonald knocked down, and the Petes will take their first penalty of the game, as the Battalion will go on the first power play of the game as well. And now, after I've buried this, as now we get the Petes mascot here giving us a bit of a
fist bump and a
getting fist bump right there. We'll take it. As he comes up here to the booth. Should have asked him why his name's Roger.
Good boy, Roger.
Anyways, the Battalion here on the specialty teams, they have the fourth highest ranked power play now. 14 goals for 56 chances. Good for 25 in the league. 25th in the league. That's also the second highest of active teams to the London Knights, who are just ahead of 28.3%. On the penalty kill, the Peterborough Petes number one. They've only allowed 3 power play goals against and 33 on 33 times shorthanded. They're now 90.9, and they've jumped over the inactive Ottawa 67s. Jackson flips the puck on net. That one's tipped over and wide. McCoy now tries to get it out, and he does indeed, and the puck's down into the Battalion end. Nelson slowly out from his net. Jackson up for Petrov. Petrov goes back to the point for Nelson. Nelson back to Jackson. Jackson to Nelson. Nelson leaves it for Jackson. Jackson behind the net. Out for Petrov. Petrov back to the point for Nelson, who tries a shot. That one was tipped wide by McCoy, and it's dumped down the ice and out of harm's way. With 1:10 left on the man advantage, Divincentis shovels it back behind his net for the defender Nelson. Nelson slowly down the ice for Jackson. Jackson, his pass out front goes to Govro, and Govro just sends it right back to his former teammate's end. Nelson with 50 seconds left on the man advantage. Leaves it behind the net as the Battalion slow things down with Wakely. Wakely down the ice, leaving it behind for Christopoulos. Christopoulos gains the zone, skates around, leaves it back though for Zito, and it's flipped down the ice as the Petes get to it. 30 seconds left on the man advantage here. Bloom from behind his own net now, slowing things down as he looks down the ice. Bloom gains the red line. Walks in, takes the shot. That one hit a body and went wide. Now Wakely with the puck in deep for Ertel. Back to Romani. Romani walks in. Back to Ertel. Takes a shot in tight. And Christopoulos keeps it in briefly. But now we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. So the Battalion 0 for 1 on their only chance. Both teams, all their goals coming either 5-on-5 or one shorthanded for the troops. Puck down the ice. That hit a few bodies and no icing on that one as Maillet gets to it. Maillet, as we're 10.5 minutes into this period, gets it down the ice. Now to Hislop. Hislop back to Tarasevic. Tarasevic over for Van Steensel. And Van Steensel flips it in behind the net. Now Arnsby on the near side. Back to Van Steensel. Arnsby couldn't hold it in though. And Winslow got to it and just threw it back in as he takes a late hit from Lefebvre. Maillet now back up the ice quickly. Lefebvre with the puck. Lefebvre leaves it for Othman. Othman takes a shot. Divinchentis saw that one all the way. Gloves it down, and that'll bring us to our mid-period timeout now with 11 minutes gone here. 8:56 left in the third period. The Battalion still hold a 4-2 lead over the Peterborough Petes on the Frontline Game Day broadcast.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the Alumni Job Portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
And we're back inside the Peterborough Memorial Center for the last half of this third period here. Getting to meet Roger up close and personal, the Peterborough Petes mascot, as he stuck his head around the corner and gave us some fist bumps here.
Yeah, good friendly boy.
Almost as if he heard us wondering about his name while he was down on the ice.
Yeah.
And he's making his way back up here slowly as he bear hugs one of the fans. I'm really enjoying this mascot, actually.
I'm not going to make a comment about what the action that I just saw out of him doing was, but
I have to say, for the most part, like I said, I've very much enjoyed our trip to Peterborough.
yeah, it's been great.
You know, there's been a lot of fun here with the hockey, and you know, the fan or the locals have been really friendly to us around the town.
Yeah.
As they see us wearing Battalion gear everywhere. Not bad for our first trip. Lots of stuff to see at the lift lock as well. The fishing derby going on, as that's going to be a high stick against Hayes as we were back underway briefly.
Yeah, 9-year-old won the big fish prize at the fishing derby
which
this
is
year, apparently.
Really neat because, you know, with the locks, they can fill it up with fish and they just leave it in there and say, okay, now you have to go around and fish out the fish.
Yeah.
For a week. You get a week, and a 9-year-old won the big $1,000 fish. Good for him. Maillet into his own zone. It's back in for the Petes, but it's kept in by Winslow. Winslow tried to shoot it on net, but Robertson quickly stopped that one and sends it back into the Battalion zone. Back to White. White flips it back around for Othman. Othman goes behind the net. Back to the point for Maillet. Maillet cross ice to White. White takes a shot. That's Divinchentis' blocker that got out and stopped that. Now Tarasevic gets it out of the zone. White up the ice to Maillet. Maillet flipping it in along the end boards. Now it's Othman and Winslow. And coming away with it are the Petes out front, trying to get a shot away. They couldn't, as that was Robertson. Back to White. White takes a puck back in. A big rebound there is cleared away by the Battalion. The Petes have bodies there. Now Zito powers his way in. Zito's going to get a penalty called here. He takes a shot. Simpson stops that one. And now we'll get another stoppage here. And the Battalion are going to go to their second man advantage here of this third period, and second man advantage of the game after not getting any through the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, both those were clear calls, and I've not heard too much booing from the audience as a result, because I think both of them were pretty obvious.
Oh, well, and it's when it's stopping a clear scoring chance, you know, you're not going to argue too much.
I was almost hoping they were going to get to see a penalty shot.
Well, he got the shot away, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Jackson in for the draw on the near side in the Pete's zone. Dubois countering him. And the puck is dropped, and Zanetti's down on the ice. McDonald battling for it. Hooking is the call on Maillet. Scored the game-winning goal last time. Last night, actually, 24 hours ago. McDonald still battling for the puck. He's now knocked down as Spearing has just been all over the puck, and now the referee's going to blow it dead as the puck didn't move anywhere for a solid 21 seconds on that power play.
Yeah, so let's see what North Bay can get here. Their last power play didn't get too many good looks on, as they've had more shorthanded chances than they got on their last power play, but at this point they're more concerned about keeping the puck out of the net for the next 7:30 than racking up points, I think.
Well, you might as well get another goal if you can, though. Back to Nelson now at the point. Goes cross ice to Petrov. Petrov near side to Jackson. Jackson walks in, looks out front for McDonald. McDonald couldn't get a shot away, and now Robertson skates the puck down the ice. Robertson walks in. He blows a tire, and McDonald's going to pick up the loose puck. McDonald quickly down the ice to Zito. Zito back to Jackson. Back to McDonald walking in, takes the shot, and that one's off a body, probably Simpson's blocker, and out of play with 1:14 left on the man advantage.
Yeah, and Kyle McDonald with the puck in the slot, with lots of time to shoot, is not something he typically wanted as an opposing player. But Simpson stood tall to the task and knocked that one out of play.
Jackson in for the draw with Dubois again. The Petes win it. Over to Avon on the near side. Avon flips the puck right down into the Battalion zone. Nelson first on that, although Dubois was right on his heels. Nelson leaves the puck now for Jackson, or rather Petrov. Petrov dipsy doodles his way in. Gets it to Zito. Zito throws it around behind the net to Smith. Smith gives it to his partner, and the Petes send it down the ice. 45 seconds left on the man advantage. Winslow out there now with the puck. Winslow taken hard into the boards. He's knocked down by Avon, and then his centering pass for Beck is picked off by Zito. Zito back to Winslow. 6.5 minutes here left on this in this third period. 30 seconds left on the man advantage. And now Christopoulos with it. Christopoulos up the ice for Zito. Zito couldn't get around his man, and now the Petes. Robertson going the other way. And now the puck in on DiVincentis as Robertson's knocked off the puck. Ertel with possession. Ertel over for Jackson. Jackson stopping up. Looks for Arnsby. And now Beck gets to it. Throws it up the ice, and Othman for a break. Othman takes the shot. Turned aside by DiVincentis. Game saver there for the Battalion, as they preserve the 2-goal lead, and now the puck goes the other way for icing. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Yeah, it looked like Ertel was going to be sprung on a breakaway there, but just missed the backhand side of his stick. And instead of a breakaway chance, it's a face-off in their own end they have to contend with, which has not been a strong point this series for the Battalion. The Petes, obviously, it's a binary choice. You win or lose a face-off. It's not been strong for the Battalion. Obviously, it's been strong for the Petes.
Jackson in for the draw. Against Dubois. As the puck's won back for the Petes to White. White, his puck has the puck knocked off his stick. Now Wakely had a bit of a step there, but White's good defensive play negates that. And Wakely throws White to the ice. Ertel in deep for Wakely, but its pass was never completed as Dubois is going the other way. Dubois to Maillet. Maillet flips it into the Battalion zone. Now it's Dubois behind the net. Pete's walking out front with it. Got a shot away, but it never really hit the net. White threw it on net. It hit the glove of Arnsby. And now Maillet at the point keeps it in. Gets it past Wakely, but Ertel with a good stick picks it off. 5 minutes remaining here in this third period. Battalion still up 4-2. Shots on goal 33, 224 for the Petes. Now in deep, and the Petes player is not completely off the puck on a big hit there by the Battalion. And DiVincentis covers it up.
Yeah, that was a well-timed hit, and that could have easily been a hook or a trip or a hold by the Battalion player to make up for that step that the Petes player had, but gave him a little shove, made up for it anyway.
5:03 left in this period, so just under 15 minutes gone. Robertson in for the offensive zone draw to the near side of DiVincentis. And now Nelson tries to flip it out. He does as it hops over the stick of McCoy. We'll keep an eye on Simpson for you to see if he leaves the net at all. Hayes walking in. Robertson gets to it, but He's stuck up by Van Steensel. Van Steensel goes cross ice for Zito. Now it's to Van Steensel looking for the hat trick as he threw it over the net. Tarasevic falling to the ice, couldn't get to the puck. Robertson going the other way. Robertson with some speed to burn, gets around Nelson, and he throws it out front. Another chance there by the Petes. McCoy, as that one was turned aside by DiVincentis, and now the Petes throw it all the way back down to their own zone. Simpson out to play the puck. 4:20 left here in this third period. McDonald nearly stole the puck away from Simpson, and now Simpson went to go whack at McDonald, so now his stick is into behind the net, as McDonald still held up by McCoy. And the Petes Perdeller sends the puck down the ice. Simpson out to play, or up to get a stick now with a puck into the Battalion zone. Winslow gets to it. Winslow flipped it up, but it doesn't get out as Dubois gets to it. Now another chance, gloved down by DiVincentis, and we'll get another stoppage here.
Yeah, that was a weird sequence that we saw down the Pete's end there, with Simpson trying to hold the puck, almost trying to look like he was going to try and stick his way out of McDonald.
He looked like he tried to Patrick Waugh Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. But
which is still impressive that Patrick Waugh did that.
It is 100%. But none of the Pete's guys were coming back to get the puck off him.
No.
Like, here, you take on McDonald.
Yeah, one of the most dangerous players for 2 rounds. Arnsby. Back out to Christopoulos. Christopoulos behind the net. Flips it up to White. White. In for Lockhart. Lockhart. To Winslow. Winslow on the near side. And Arnsby in there battling as well. 3:30 left here in this third period. 4-2 Battalion lead. Battle in the near side corner. Once again, we'd love to be able to see better, but we got a column in the way. Puck comes out front. Van Steensel shovels it away. And now the puck comes out for White all the way down to his own zone. White up the ice now to Maillet. Maillet couldn't get it very far into Battalion territory as White now has to pick it back up in his own zone. White down the ice for Beck. It misses him, so Winslow picks it up. Goes up for Jackson. Jackson flips it in deep into Pete's zone. And now the puck is up the ice quickly for Othman, and Hayes sends it in cross ice. Stopped up by DiVincentis, as that would have gone into the end wall. He saw that Nelson was in a speed race with Robertson, and Robertson has wheels to burn, grabs the puck and covers it up.
Yeah, you always, any chance you get as a goalie, you want to settle that down. Let the team get structured in front of you, because there's nothing worse than having guys running around in front of you, not knowing who's got what coverage, getting shots through a whole pile of guys. If you can get that structure in place, it gives you a lot better chance as a goalie to see that shot coming through to you.
Face-off coming to the far side of DiVincentis from the broadcast. And then Avon, even though the whistle, took a very late shot. And Hertel's saying some things. Now he takes a whack from Avon. 2:55 here left in the third period. Battalion still have a 2-goal lead, up 4-2. All the scoring coming in the first 40 minutes of this one. So far. Dun dun dun. Back to Avon. Avon takes a shot. That one's blocked by Arnsby out front. Now it's back to the blue line, and Zanetti can't keep the line. Back into his own zone. Zanetti flips around. McCoy. McCoy knocked down by Ertl. And now McCoy tries to send it back cross ice, but Mathurin got a stick on it, but it's still whacked into the Battalion zone. Nelson and Robertson battling. Simpson still in his net. Now Bloom comes away with it. Bloom flips it right back in deep for the Petes. Simpson picks it up. Under 2.5 minutes left now as the Petes get it up to Beck. Beck, as they're calling Simpson over now, so the Battalion will have to deal with a 6-on-5 situation. Now Simpson is in his net, but DiVincentis covers up the puck, so we'll get a stoppage here with 2:16 left as the Petes attempt the empty net.
Yeah, and not to jinx anything at this point, but there is a certain player with 2 goals who has a penchant for empty netters. The Petes have an empty net. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
And we're going to get a timeout for the Petes here with 2:16 left. I know what you're putting down. I'm picking it up.
What you're putting down.
Yeah. I get what you're getting at. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into our broadcast here of game number 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. We're coming near the end of it, of course. We really do appreciate all the support that we've gotten thus far throughout the playoffs. We've really seen our podcast and broadcast grow exponentially over the past couple of weeks. as we've, usually getting a handful of people every game listening, which is great. But now we're up to triple digits at the same time sometimes for some of these games, which is absolutely wild that you guys want to listen to someone like myself and Ben Long describe a hockey game for you.
What? You don't think people should want to listen to me talk about hockey?
How do you fit your ego in my car when we leave here? I really don't get it.
It's a tight squeeze.
Yeah, it is a Honda Civic.
But it'd be a long walk without it.
It would be it's a long enough drive. Enough back roads, my goodness. As we're back underway here from the Peterborough Memorial Center. 2:11 left. As the Petes have the man advantage right now as they have an empty net. Back on the far side. Through it cross ice. And Christopoulos takes his man hard into the corner. Now the puck goes round for Beck. Now Zito. Zito looks cross ice for Van Steensel, but it gets to Othman instead. 1:50 here left in this third period. Beck had the puck knocked off his stick, but coming back in for support was Robertson. Now Zito gets it up and to the point, kept in by Lockhart. Now Arnsby tried to get a chance. Now the puck out front in front of DiVincentis. He turns that one aside. Now Arnsby just flips it down the ice. Not enough for icing, of course, just trying to kill some time. 1:25 left here in this third period. Lockhart down the ice for Beck. Beck flips it in. Othman with the puck on the near side. Gets it back. But Van Steensel tried to flip it back out, but now it's to Lockhart. Quick shot on net, blocked in front. And Zito clears the zone. A minute left.
Mathurin was a big block there, but he's noticeably limping.
We haven't seen Lucan back either. As now, the Petes with possession in the Battalion zone behind the net. Out front, takes a shot, goes out front. It's blocked by the Battalion and flipped down the ice off of we've seen it in North Bay a lot off the Jumbotron. Not so much here in Peterborough, as it's a little bit higher, I would say.
Yeah.
But it still hit the Jumbotron and out of play.
Not a whole lot.
No. We were down on the ice before the game, and I have to say, I would say it's still higher than North Bay, but still, yeah.
Among the lower ones in the league.
I would say so. Definitely not as... Barrie has it much higher, for sure.
Hamilton has it much higher.
Yeah, you're still afraid. You really like that one, eh?
Oh, man.
As we're going to get a timeout now against the Battalion. 45.2 seconds left. 4-2 Battalion lead. Apparently we're still on period 2 according to our scoreboard.
Oh, that's that. Haven't changed that
It is
yet.
period 3, trust me.
Boom, period 3.
There we go. This will be the shortest period 3 of everyone's life.
I hope so. This last 45 seconds takes longer than a full period. I'm going to be upset. Zito's in for the draw this time for the Battalion.
As it's back to Lockhart, but the puck knocked out, and Arnsby's going to take it down. Arnsby slowly in, and he's going to seal the deal here. Empty net goal against the Petes, and it's a 5-2 game now with 35.2 seconds left on the clock. Liam Arnsby, the captain, ices it here for the Battalion.
Yeah, that's one that I'm happy to see go in, and happy to see we aren't going to be very, very unlikely to see overtime tonight before our drive home. And most of the fans in the building have also reached that same conclusion. There's a steady stream out here with 35 seconds left in the game for the Battalion to be up 5-2. Oh, I'll update that on the scoreboard too so everyone at home can see.
Yeah, don't forget that.
Boom.
Like I said, you've got a new job ahead of you here, Ben.
Yeah.
As the puck is down into the Battalion zone as well. Sent back to the point for Smith. Smith flipping it back in. And now McCallum taken in hard by Hislop. That's going to be a penalty against the Battalion. Smith looked to take a shot, and now McCallum and Paget are up and mixing it up here late in the game. Well, if you're going to lose, you might as well take some Battalion players with you with 20 seconds left.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the one they're seeing, and Nelson was at the center of that.
20 seconds left. Again, we appreciate everyone. We did get your call, Maritime Maniacs. Actually, shout out to Alex O'Hare, who messaged me directly because, well, I'm not checking the chat during the game a lot of the time. That might be another job for a producer.
Yeah, if I'm going to be doing color commentary on top of producing, I don't have time to watch a chat as well. My eyes have too many other places to be.
Well, you know what? That's why we give you vision benefits with your employment here.
I wish.
5-2 Battalion lead. In 20 seconds, it'll be official. The series will be tied at 2 apiece.
They're
But
dealing with throwing a couple guys in the box.
yeah, a couple of guys are leaving the game as now Lefebvre taken off the ice to high fives from the kids here at Peterborough Memorial Center. Game 5 will be in North Bay on Friday from Memorial Gardens. It's a best 2 out of 3 now. Hey, this place has really emptied out quickly.
Yeah.
Game 5 will be going at 7 o'clock from the Gardens. Game 6 will be right back here Sunday at 7 o'clock. And if necessary, I believe Game 7 is Monday at the Gardens again. So another quick turnaround in the series.
Yeah.
As we get set for a draw here. The Battalion, the only penalized team.
Nope.
Well, on the board, they're the only
Okay.
penalized team. With Hislop getting 2 minutes for the initial penalty. So the Battalion will have to kill off these 20 seconds on the penalty kill. Govro sends the puck around. Doesn't go very far as Bruskowski gets back to it. Sends it back to the point for Govro. 7 seconds left here to Govro. Sends it in. Looks for the pass out front. With 1.1 seconds left, though, we're going to get another stoppage here as the puck was out of play.
Yeah, and that was a solid play by Christopoulos to make sure that wasn't a shot going on net. It was deflected away and got up and out of the zone with 1.1 left. I don't think we have too much going on here.
No, they're just going to get the draw done here. And it's all academic now. As Smith takes a last-second shot. The Battalion really don't like that. Smith knew the time. And he still took the shot anyways as he's shown the gate by the referee. Now the Battalion players in Govro mixing it up. As the Battalion will come away with a big 5-2 victory here against the Peterborough Petes in game number 4 of this best of 7 series between the Petes and the North Bay Battalion in the Eastern Conference Finals. It'll be a happy bus ride home for the North Bay Battalion. It'll be a happy car ride home for us two broadcasters.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Ben, how are we feeling after that one?
Oh, so much better than yesterday. But, yeah, we'll head to a quick break here. We'll have our 3 stars and then watch our social medias, as we won't have it directly on our social medias, but I'm sure we'll have different clips from things being posted and shared on our social media or from the OHLs, because they seem to be all over the things for this. But we'll be right back after this break.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sucrum, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's 3 stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
And we welcome you back here to the Peterborough Memorial Center for a quick post-game wrap-up here with Battalion having won the game 5-2 final. I know on the board it still says it's the 3rd period, because there's not an option to say final. We'll look to see if that becomes an option, but a quick rundown of the scoring in the game. Scoring started off with Owen Van Steensel scoring a goal from Nikita Tarasevich and with an assist from Ty Nelson. Kyle Jackson made it 2-0 for the Battalion with an assist from Josh Bloom. After that, Tommy Perdeller scored a goal to bring that lead in half to 2-1 with assists from Othman and Tucker. Then Nelson scored with an assist from Arnsby and Van Steensel to open that lead up to 2 goals again. After that, Avon scored with assists from Perdeller and Spearing. Then Van Steensel scored with assists from Nelson. And then Arnsby scored unassisted on an open net to bring us to 5-2. For the 3 stars of the game, which were brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor, the 3rd star, Tommy Perdeller from Peterborough Petes, having a goal and an assist on the night. The 2nd star, Ty Nelson, who had a goal and 2 assists on the night. And then 1st star, number 16 from the North Bay Battalion, Owen Van Steensel with 2 goals and 1 assist on the night. It was a fantastic night for a lot of players. Arnsby also had a goal and 1 assist. A goal and an assist. 2-point night is a fantastic night to have as well. And with that, we will wrap up the post-game show here. And we will see you on Friday at the North Bay Memorial Gardens for Game 5 to try and break this 2-2 tie.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.